Yes, let's get it. You are welcome to the show, man. It's your boy. You in the place to be, the right place to be, with Red Supreme, also known as King Supreme, with a 2-0 at the end. What's going on? What's good with my people out there, man? Oshay the Duke Jackson calls the Hodge twins sellouts, right? Well, if the shoe fits, you gotta wear it. When have you guys ever heard the Hodge twins criticize white people for anything? But then, a lot of these hypocrites will say, well, white people ain't that bad, so he shouldn't criticize them. Man, have you seen all these mass shootings that took place this month? It's easy to criticize white people, just like it's easy to criticize black folks, right? Look at all these mass shootings that took place this month. White men was responsible for all of them. The shooting that took place in Michigan, white man did it. Another shooting in North Carolina, white man shoots up the church in Michigan. A white man shoots up a restaurant in North Carolina 2 days ago, unalived 3 people. The Charlie Kirk situation, the Minneapolis shooting, white guy shoots up a Catholic school full of kids, innocent children, white man. Florida State University happened in May. A white man shoots up the university. Colorado shooting that happened earlier this month. A white man was responsible for that, right? The Hodge twins never criticized white people for their violent culture. He's not going to do it. So in reality, they're sellouts. See, it'd be one thing if they held white people accountable to the same level that they hold black people accountable. But no, they're not going to do that. Now, Ringo TV says some of the dumbest crap that you can imagine. But Ringo was a Sambo. Ringo was Steven from Django. So what do you really expect? What do you really expect? Ringo said that I'm mad because him, Anton Daniels, and Officer Tatum holds black people accountable. Let me show you how stupid Ringo is. I hold black people accountable. Anybody who watches my platform, you watch my channel, you know for a fact that I hold black people accountable. The problem that I have with Ringo, Officer Tatum, and Anton Daniels, they never hold white people accountable. I don't give a damn that you hold black people accountable because I hold black folks accountable myself. I went in, I went in on these women for having all these babies out of wedlock, then, thinking they can get married later, coming to the table with children from other men. I told ladies the truth about their behavior. I told black men the truth about their behavior as well when it comes to gangs, drugs, prison, and, street culture. So I'm not mad at you holding black people accountable. The problem I have with those coons, they never hold white people accountable. That's the problem that I have with Ringo. That's the problem that I have with Officer Tatum. That's the problem that I have with Anton Daniels. They never hold a white community accountable for their violent culture. But of course, he tried to flip it and spin it and say, he just don't want black folks to be held accountable. You idiot. I hold black people accountable. You're dumb. You're dumb. Yeah.
There would be outrage. That's the only thing you're allowed to say. They say if it was George Floyd, people would be marching, rioting. When a white kid is killed, no one does anything.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, but that's really not saying anything. That's a sentiment which...
Because when you study the history of this country, black people have a right to be up in arms because historically, black folks have been lynched for nothing, unalived for nothing. And a lot of that is still going on today. A black student just got hung in Mississippi. Black people get unalived by white police officers. So if you study the history of this country, black people have a right to be outraged when a white person unalives a black person. If you just study the history of this country, then you would understand if you're using common sense and logic. Move it along.
Really just says, well, the left is hypocritical. There's a double standard on race. But it doesn't really express, in my opinion...
A double standard in race. America was built on a double standard. White people at the top, blacks at the bottom. Blacks went through slavery. Blacks went through Jim Crow after slavery was abolished. How long did Jim Crow last? Jim Crow lasted 100 years. And Jim Crow put black people at a major disadvantage in this country. That's exactly what Jim Crow did. It put us at a major disadvantage. So America was never built on equality. America is not a merit-based society. If you don't believe me, just study the history. What an idiot.
What white people are feeling. White people are feeling is, why are we putting up with this stuff?
Right.
You know, and it's like you said, you move to a white neighborhood, you make money. We live in America. It's 21st century. We don't want to deal with these problems.
Right.
And it just so happens.
So white people don't have the right to say when they're fed up and they don't want to deal with something. After they didn't enslave people, stole from people, burned black communities, lynched, you know, hardworking, honest black people got lynched just for being black. Let me tell you something, homie. In the 1930s, there was no such thing as thug culture in the black community. There was no such thing as ratchet culture in the black community. Black people were suits. Black people were suits. They went to church. They went to work, and they minded their business. And guess what? You had more black lynchings back then when there was no, you had more black lynchings and more white people unaliving black people when there was no such thing as a thug culture. And white people hated us more. So what does that tell you? So when the white people try to use the excuse by saying, oh, man, you guys are thugs, you this, that's why we don't like you. If you go back to the 30s, 40s, and 50s, there was no such thing as thug culture in black communities, right? And white people still hated you. Listen, we could easily argue that white people hated us more then. Well, they still hate us now. It's really no different. The laws have changed, so white people have to mask their racism. They have to keep it on the hush and keep it on the low. But ultimately, the reality is this: white people still feel the same today as they felt about blacks in the 1930s. Please believe me. White people today have the same racism in their heart that they had in the 1930s. The only difference is white people try to be low key about their racism today because of all the laws we have, the laws that govern the land. So they try to be low key about their anti-black racism. But when you pay attention, clearly you could see it.
Happens that it is these young black adolescents that's doing it in Chicago and wherever. And so I went on my show after that killing and said, you know, like, we're just kind of done with that. We don't want to live near this. Because here's the problem as a white person. You can either be Daniel Penny or Austin Metcalf. You can either be someone that takes a stand and defends yourself, or you make a rash judgment and you're either in jail or you're a racist.
Well, this is the reality. Charlie Kirk was unalived by his own people. I know you want to paint the picture like blacks are so dangerous and blacks are just so violent, right? Nobody black ever threatened Charlie Kirk's life. It wasn't a black man who took out Charlie Kirk. So the truth is this: when you think about danger and Charlie Kirk, danger came from his own community. Charlie Kirk has never been victimized by a black criminal a day in his life. But yet and still he talked about black people every day when black people wasn't bothering him in real life. If Charlie Kirk paid more attention to the violent criminals in his own community, just maybe he'll still be living today. Maybe the man would still be alive if he paid attention to the dangerous criminals in his own community, people who look like him.
If you defend yourself, you get charged with murder by a liberal DA. Or if you're wrong, then you're a white supremacist, racist, you're super judgmental, you're canceled.
Yeah, you can't just be a white guy who made a mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And look at these dumbass coons. White people don't want y'all living in. Listen, those white people that are building those all white communities, why don't you go over there and say, hey, man, I want to get a house in the community? They're going to say, no, you can't live here. These dudes right here are pathetic. These are some pathetic individuals. If they tried to move to an all-white town, those white people will say, no, you're half black. You ain't coming over here. This community is for whites and whites only. It don't matter how much you coon. It don't matter how much you tap dance. White people will never accept you. The only reason that white people deal with these fools because they speak down, because they talk down on black people. And that's the only reason that white folks deal with them to a certain extent. Keyword, white folks deal with them to a certain extent. But when it comes to those all white communities, the Hodge twins ain't welcome. Don't matter how much you tap dance. You're not welcome. The white folks don't want you there.
And then on the other side, if you're not racist enough or not careful enough, if you're Austin Metcalf, you make the mistake of confronting the wrong black adolescent, you're dead. You forfeit your life. And if that's how it's going to be, who wants to live in that neighborhood where you're walking down the street at night and you look over your shoulder? If you cross the street and it's a good black person, you're a racist. If you don't cross the street and they're a predator, you're dead. It's no win situation, right?
And it's mighty funny that they're laughing at this. Black men don't go around shooting up churches full of innocent people. You do know a white man shot up a church full of innocent people who wasn't bothering him, right? This just happened yesterday. It happened on Sunday, yesterday. Right? Dylan Roof shot up a church in Charleston, South Carolina in 2015, unalived 10 innocent black people. The white boy in Minneapolis shot up a Catholic school where children go to where children play, where children play and they go to pray. It was a Catholic school. White man shoots up the school, unalives all those innocent people. See, if you listen to Nick Fuentes and the Hodge twins, they'll make you believe, if you don't have common sense, that white folks ain't out here committing crimes, that white folks ain't out here unaliving people, innocent people at that, who ain't bothered them. Do you know, man? Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. Hit the like button, man. These coons are not welcome. They're just not welcome. They're not welcome in all white communities.
That the Hodge twins is getting their just due on YouTube, and everybody is starting to see how fake they are.
When I dropped my video about the Hodge twins on August 3rd, 2025, I didn't know it would get so many views, and I didn't know that so many people dislike these guys so much. I just noticed a few discrepancies with some of their arguments, and that was it. I didn't think anything of it, and I didn't think to ever revisit the subject. However, Albert and Preach on September 22nd, 2025 reacted to my video and making their own video called Myron and Hodge Twins Reminded They Aren't White. So I decided to do a little bit of investigating. I said, there has to be something to this. So I started looking on social media for people that had an issue with the Hodge Twins. And boy,
I gotta say this about Oshay the Duke Jackson, and Oshay is my boy. Oshay is my boy, so I'm not here trying to belittle Oshay, but I got to be honest with Oshay. Oshay's my boy, but I got to say this to Oshay. Oshay, let me tell you something, bro. If you're going to call out the Hodge twins for being coons and tap dancers, if you're going to call out Officer Tatum for being coons and tap dancers, surely you got to call out Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels is no different than the Hodge twins. He's no different than Ringo TV. He's no different than Officer Tatum. They're one and the same. All of them are coons. All of them are Sambos. That's the only thing that I have to say to my man Oshay. Anton Daniels falls in the same category as the Hodge twins and Officer Tatum and Ringo TV. So we can't be selective with our politicking. If we're going to call our coons, we got to call our coons. Anton Daniels is in the same category, homie. Anyway, let's move on. But shout out to my boy, Oshay the Duke Jackson. I had to be real with Oshay, man, because if I can't keep it real, then who am I? No.
I surprised.
But now all of a sudden, they done became as panderers, where they like to put the black community down. And I feel like that's just some bull when your ass is half black and you walking around here looking like a light skin.
Woo! Now, this was a more of a recent video because the lady basically referenced the fact that other YouTubers are making content about the Hodge twins. But before my video or Abba and Preach's video, you had people who really understood what was going on.
They were definitely leaning on their blackness because they're half black, half white. They were leaning on their blackness, you know, all this and that and all this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 and everybody's cool.
And yes, man, I just reached 3K, man. So the channel's been growing, man. This channel's been growing. People have been subscribing every day. We've already reached the threshold of 4,000 watch time minutes. We accomplished that goal in like 6.5, 7 days. So yes, You're tuned into one of the best in the game. You play upon the Red Supreme. Let's move along with this content, though.
Because, black folk, we accept, people who are partially black. We accept everybody, right? Especially who are part black and part whatever the fuck else, until you give folks a reason to not do that.
Now, this is a very, very key.
Talking about that black man who unalived that white chick. Hey, man, rest in peace to her. Rest in peace to all the victims out there, man. I don't condone the unaliving and just random violence against anyone. But I will say this. Look at all these people that white folks have unalived, innocent people, right? For the most part, when black people have an issue, it's usually over something personal. You don't see black men going into churches, airing out the church, laying innocent people down. White men commit those type of crimes, not black men. Let's set the record straight. Anytime somebody tries to assassinate the president, it's a white man committing that crime, right? You notice how none of these white people have spoke out against their own people and saying, damn, what is it with white men? Why do white men love to unalive presidents? It's always a white man trying to unalive the president. White men tried to assassinate Donald Trump 3 times. 3 times within the last year. But they're not holding white men accountable for their violent nature, even though it was white men who tried to assassinate the president.
Observation. He said when he was watching the Hodge twins when they were blowing up, he realized that the Hodge twins were leaning on to their black side. Now, they are half black and half white. And so what you saw is the Hodge twins making comedy using the N-word a lot, going back and forth. But then he noticed a change.
What I've noticed that they do is that they put down what they used to lean on to now give an uprise to their political beliefs. That you see what I'm saying?
So the Hodge twins built their career basically leaning onto their black side. Now they criticize everything to do with the black side, but they built their brand on that. They built their brand on black buffoonery, quote unquote, let them tell it. Now you criticize what made you successful.
Damn.
But this sister said
This is Oshay the Duke Jackson, fair use.
it the best.
You have 2 black men, avid pro-Trump supporters, who stereotype the black audience, go all the way down their page. They speak about white people with respect, even if they're reporting on a crime. When they speak about black people, there's no respect, there's no nothing. It's miss this, sir this, ma'am this, when they speak about a white person who's committed a crime, or they're speaking about something that's, going on in a white community. But when it comes to black people or brown people, any person of color, it's criminal and, just all kind of stereotypical terms that paints people of color in a negative light.
Now, she talked about the Hodge twins timeline, and I talked about that in my particular.
I want to ask you guys, in your honest opinion, is Anton Daniels any different from the Hodge twins, Ringo TV, or Officer Tatum? Because in my book, Anton Daniels is no different than any of those guys that I just mentioned. All I'm saying to my boy Oshay is this, bro. You got to throw Anton Daniels in the same category. You know for a fact that Anton Daniels is Uncle Ruckus. Come on, Oshay. Anton is a straight coon. He's a straight Uncle Ruckus. If we're going to hold coons accountable, Anton Daniels got to be thrown in that category as well. We ain't holding no punches over here, baby.
Video, and obviously they're active on X, so it's really easy to see it there. But let's see if her point is true. This is not too long ago. Now imagine if a mob of white conservatives chased 2 black dudes off campus. Then on their YouTube, Chicago residents pissed after streetwalkers take over Chicago neighborhoods. And of course, this is a black neighborhood, so you can imply that. Here we have very specifically, black people always need to make everything about race. Then another day, another woman getting punched by a black dude. What? These guys want to make it seem like every day women are just getting punched by black dudes, in particular white women. All right. How many white women every day get punched by black dudes? I'll wait. And the answer is not that many.
Man, butter biscuits. Butter biscuits to the fullest. Man, look at these fools. Certified Sambos. Sit up there and put on your tap shoes and let it do what it do.
But hey, we all got to make money. Of course, these are their biases. And I actually called them out in my video for being pretty much sellouts. And so when they're reacting to my video, I'm talking about the Hodge twins here, here's their reply to me.
We've been Republican for years. Yeah, just because I have different opinions don't mean I sold out.
Yeah, you're right about that, Gail. A lot of people pick and choose who they want to hold accountable. That's a fact. If we're going to call our coons and Sambos, we can't pick and choose who we're going to hold accountable. You know, we have to be genuine. We have to be real about that. You know, Oshay, listen, Oshay, Anton Daniels is no different than the Hodge twins, bro. He's no different than Officer Tatum. They're one and the same. Ringo TV is a Sambo.
Yeah. A sellout is a person who says something for money. Yeah. I'm saying things because that's my opinion. Yeah. That's how we see the world. Yeah. I've monetized my opinion, but it's nothing wrong with that. I'm a capitalist. Yeah.
Now here they're saying that they really feel this way. They're Republicans and they monetize.
Shout out to Desmond Hill for the 10 on the Cash App. Shout out to my man Terrence for the 5 on the Cash App. Shout out to my girl Stacy for the 15 on the Cash App. Support the content in a major way. I appreciate you all. I really do.
Their opinions because they're capitalists. Now let me just say this. The Hodge twins are definitely capitalists. I have never seen YouTubers grift and just go from one thing to another quicker than the Hodge twins. I mean, wherever the money is going to go is where they're at. I mean, they didn't have too much investment in their main channel. They didn't put any thought into this channel. And that's something about the Hodge twins. These guys are not that bright.
Got him!
I mean, despite how they articulate themselves, I'm not even talking about how they sound because their articulation leaves a lot to be desired.
Got him!
Let's compare them to somebody like Abba and Preach. Abba and Preach, in particularly Abba, even Preach, they're both very good. They're the best. They give really good depth and analysis to their positions. And their positions are not always popular. You cannot always guess what Abba and Preach are going to come up with. They don't mind challenging their audience in the comments. They don't mind making videos that people disagree with. They are free thinkers and they cannot be bought. That is the beauty of Abba and Preach, okay? They put thought into what they're saying. They have great dialogues. When you listen to the Hodge twins, there's not much dialogue at all or thought into whatever they're saying. And that's why they don't really get a whole lot of views per video in relation to their audience size. Now, if you look at somebody like Candace Owens gets a lot of views for her size. Well, Candace Owens is, I'm not going to say she's the brightest person in the world all the time.
Hey, yo, I covered that Nia Wilson story. And this happened some years ago, man, at the BART train station in the Bay Area, Oakland, right? I covered that story. See, white people want to keep talking about this black dude, but they're not talking about the guy who unalived Nia Wilson at a subway station. But none of these white conservatives are going to talk about that. They only want to talk about black crime while forgetting about the fact that 90% of these mass shooters are white men. Every time somebody tries to unalive the president, 10 times out of 10, it is a white man. Not 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. When someone tries to unalive the president, that is a white man.
But she's definitely smarter than them. And that's the difference between the Hodge twins and Candace Owens. Candace Owens can at least come up with something original that she can claim in her arguments. The Hodge twins just regurgitate whatever they feel that white people want to hear or conservatives want to hear. And to be honest, that's why their channel doesn't do so well for the kind of size that they have.
He's right, you know.
And let me give you an example of some of this ideology here, okay? Let's go to the whole Nashville, Tennessee State interview where these white guys came up to the school. Of course, they came up to the school without letting the school know.
No, they keep saying, oh, man, they came for a civilized debate. For one, they didn't get permission to go up there to speak to anyone. They didn't get permission. For two, Why would the students on the HBCU campus be welcoming to MAGA people when MAGA people are the ones responsible for sending death threats to their campuses, to these HBCU colleges? And on top of that, they just unalived and hung a black guy in Mississippi, hung him by a tree with a noose around his neck. So when you think about all this stuff that just happened, why would they be welcoming to these MAGA people who came to their school, who came to their campus uninvited? They were never invited in the first place.
They kind of did a pop-up shop, brought their own speaker and set up a table. And again, this is against school policies. They wouldn't go to Harvard to do.
Somebody said it was staged, man. Man, what was staged? I would love to hear what was staged, man. Anyway, man, we're gonna move on. People say anything when they don't want to be held accountable for something.
Do that or go to Yale. You have to have permission to go onto college campuses anywhere around the world. You just can't pull up and start having debates. But listen to the argument, or the debate rather, they're having with this young man.
Do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again, this system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist, because there are countless examples of it existing.
So the young man, they're asking him, what do you think is in law that you can't do as a black person? And the young man responds, he says, listen, well, there's no law, but definitely we live in systemic oppressions in this time, and it's just there. Now, the young man may not be able to articulate all that he's saying, but there is some truth to it. But now, how do the Hodge twins interpret it?
This is why 96% of blacks vote for Democrats. We had a black president 2 terms, won the Electoral College and the popular vote. Yeah. For black people to still think that this country is systemically racist is just. And
when Obama was president, there was a lot of unalivings of black people. When Barack Obama, when Barack Obama was president, you know how many black people got unalived? When Barack Obama was president, tons of people got unalived when Barack Obama was president. Tons of black people got unalived by racist white folks. A lot of police officers unalived black folks when Obama was president. What are you talking about? Huh? George Zimmerman unalived Trayvon Martin, got away with it. They didn't give a damn. They didn't give a damn about the fact that the president was black. Barack Obama's not a foundational black American. Barack Obama is not a foundational black American. So in reality, it don't count. He wasn't he's not a foundational black American. So he's not going to ride for the people. He's not going to fight for the people. Barack Obama was a token Negro. That's all he was. He didn't do anything to benefit blacks in this country. He did nothing. So when you say, well, we had a black president, for one, that's only one president. After all, think about how many presidents have we had in this country? I lost count because I really don't give a damn, man. It's worthless. But what I'm saying is this: you give us one black president, and he's a tether. He's not a foundational black American. So in reality, Barack Obama does not count as a black president. Why? Because he's not a foundational black American. So it doesn't count.
You're not using your brain. Yeah, I don't know what this is. This dude, what do you think it is? That dude's got like a mental block somewhere.
So they start insulting the guy, calling him, in so many words, dumb, and black people are this and that. And they continue.
Well, a bias that prevents him from using his brain. He's black. He grows up around black people. Everything he watches is black. He's living inside of a bubble.
You see the disparaging commentary that they're giving towards the young man. Not even those Charlie Kirk or MAGA supporters, the white guys, had even got that low.
These MAGA people showed up unannounced, uninvited, but yet and still they felt obligated to have a debate, to have a conversation when they were never welcome on that campus in the first place. Let's go.
Oh, all right. He mentions that Barack Obama became the president and there was no racism going on in America. Well, let's see here, buddy. Barack Obama was the president from January 2009 to January 2017. What did we see during those years? I'll just give you a few. 2009, Oscar Grant, Oakland, California, got shot while he was completely subdued, okay?
Oscar Grant was handcuffed, laying face down on the ground. at the BART train station. Now, you know where Nia Wilson got underlined? At the BART train station in Oakland, the Bay Area. Well, Oscar Grant lost his life in Oakland on the BART train station. He was handcuffed, face down on the ground, and he was shot in the back by a racist white. He was shot in the back by a racist white man. And they charged a man with manslaughter, and he got out of jail in maybe like 2 or 3 years, something like that. I don't know, maybe sooner. But if you shoot somebody in the back while they're handcuffed and subdued, you deserve to get life in prison. I'm sorry. Rest in peace to Oscar Grant, man. I remember that situation, man. It happened in Oakland. They made a whole movie about this, man. And you guys remember Michael B. Jordan played Oscar Grant in the movie, man. I forget what the movie is called. Fruitville Station, man. Fruitville Station. Whenever you guys get a chance, listen, homie, whenever you guys get a chance, go watch the movie. Go watch the movie. It's called Fruitvale Station. Michael B. Jordan played Oscar Grant in that movie. It was a good movie, but it was sad at the end, man. It'll make you cry. It had a sad ending, man. It'll make you cry, man. That movie was heartfelt. It'll really make you cry, man. But whenever you get a chance, y'all, you know, check out Fruitvale Station. Michael B. Jordan did a good job playing Oscar Grant in that movie. For sure. You know?
The BART officer, Johannes Mercerly, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Then you have, in 2010, Ayanna Stanley Jones of Detroit, Michigan, 7-year-old killed during a Detroit police raid. February 26, 2012, Trayvon Martin killed by George Zimmerman. He was acquitted, but this case became a flashpoint for racial profiling, all right? Then we have, in that same year, Rekia Boyd in Chicago. Then we have Jordan Davis, okay, in 2012. Then 2013, Jonathan Farrell. 2013 again, Renisha McBride.
Yeah, man, it was so many of them, bro. It was so many of them, man. So, you know, Barack Obama don't count as a black president, man. For one, he's not a foundational black American. And he did nothing for the benefit of blacks. He did not. So if you want it, listen, Barack Obama's people didn't go through what our people went through in this country. He's not a foundational black American. So you can't tell us this guy is a black president. If he's not a foundational black American, then it doesn't count. You get a tether. You mean to tell me you go and get a tether and you try to represent him as a black man? That's a slap in the face to foundational black Americans.
Then 2014 is where it really got hot. That was a really bad year. We have Eric Garner, John Crawford, Mike Brown. We got Black Lives Matter out of that. Akai Gurley, Tamir Rice. 2015 was brutal. There was Walter Scott in South Carolina. There was Freddie Gray, okay? Then Dylan Proof, the white supremacist, came into Charleston, South Carolina at Emmanuel AME during Bible study and killed all of those blacks for no reason. We have Sandra Bland. Then we have Laquan McDonald, who was shot 16 times in 2014.
Right, man. That's a fact, man. You know, sad situation, man. But yeah, man, go and check out Fruitville Station. Michael B. Jordan played Oscar Grant, man. Powerful movie, man. But you know, the ending of the movie is my God. It'll piss you off, man. You know, the ending of the movie would definitely piss you off, man. Seriously. You know, if you got love for your people, you know, the end of that movie gonna make you feel some type of way, bro. For sure.
Garner, John Crawford, Mike Brown. We got Black Lives Matter out of that. Akai Gurley, Tamir Rice. 2015 was brutal. There was Walter Scott in South Carolina. There was Freddie Gray, okay? Then Dylan Proof, the white supremacist, came into Charleston, South Carolina at Emmanuel AME during Bible study and killed all of those blacks for no reason. We have Sandra Bland. Then we have Laquan McDonald, who was shot 16 times in 2014, all right? But the video was released in 2015. Then we have 2016. We got Alton Sterling, We also, the day after Alton Sterling was killed, there was Philando Castile in Minnesota. So what are these guys even talking about? Then these guys got into an argument about, like, you know, I think the conversation between the debater and the young man was, when was America great? Okay. Not going to play that part of the clip, but I do want you to hear the Hodge twins' response.
A lot of people on the left, they like to frame this question. Yeah. When was his country great? Right. This country's always been great. He's hoping he's going to say back when slavery was alive. That's what he's hoping he's going to actually say. Yeah.
According to white people, America is not great. That's why they say make America great again. You're not white, so you don't get to speak for white people. Hodge twins, you're not white. You don't get to speak for white people. The whole reason that white people say make America great again, because what they're saying now is that America is not great, and that is why they want to make it great again. Common sense, idiot. Common sense, dummy. So you ask them, name a time and era when America was great, because it's clear to see that you're saying that America is not great now. That's why they keep saying make it great again. Make America great again means that it's not great now. Words of white people, not mine.
Country's always been great, though. Yeah. Say back when slavery was alive. That's what he's hoping he's going to actually say. Yeah. This country's always been great, though. Yeah. There's been times when it's.
So, yeah, you guys, you got to watch your language in the comment section. Watch your language in the comment section. Be respectful. Be mindful. And you won't have no problems in the comments. Let's continue. Make America great again means that it's not great now. So what they're saying is we want to make America great again because it's not great now. That's what the white people are saying. Name a time and an era when America was great. And if white people are being honest with you, they're going to go back to the Jim Crow days. They're going to go back to slavery. Why? Because white folks feel like they had more control over this country when blacks were under Jim Crow laws, when blacks were enslaved. That's the reality, people.
Country's always been great, though. Yeah. There's been times when it's been greater. Yeah. But in the slave days, I don't think it was great.
Uh-oh. So you hear what's going on here. One of the twins says, well, the country must not have been that great during slavery. Rightfully so, because he is half black. But watch what he says then.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You got to say that. Yeah. You got to say that. But still the best country in the world. Even though back then when we had slavery, systemically racism, that was just part of society. I'm not saying that. That was society all over around the world. Yeah, I'm not saying that was great. But it wasn't stretch of the imagination. Yeah, it wasn't isolated just to this country. That was going on all over the world when that was going on here. Right. Even whites were slaves. Yeah.
He turns to say, you know what? Well, that was going on around the world. Even whites were slaves. Okay. He's trying to mask the blow. So now he's trying to say, well, you know what? That was the culture around the world. And even there were some whites that were slaves.
Boy, y'all sit your stupid ass down. Who the think you is?
Okay, so what was the percentage of whites that were slaves in comparison to the blacks? Like, this is completely being disingenuous on purpose. And when somebody says that these guys are bootlicking or pandering, this is exactly what that means, all right? And when you're a content creator and all you do is pander to the right, you become predictable. This is why guys don't like them, all right? Because not only are you guys, well, I won't get on how you sound. Well, I'll leave that alone, because for you to be white conservatives, man, you guys are like, let me stop. But anyways, fast forward. You guys pander so hard that nobody finds you that interesting. That's the point. And again, there's no freedom of thought. And I'm going to tell you the reason why there's no freedom of thought. The moment that you guys say something about white conservatives or white people in general, it's the end. See, the thing about somebody like Auburn Preach or somebody like me, we build our platforms being ourselves, and if people like it, they do. If they don't, it's okay. But we're going to express how we feel.
Yeah, man, this is crazy.
And our audience either likes it or dislikes.
All right, now I want you guys to see what Auburn Preach had to say about this.
ISIS. Yeah, what do you thought was about to happen?
Shout out to Auburn Preach, man. Auburn Preach is finna expose Myron and the Hodge twins. because white people will remind them that they're not white. Hodge twins, it don't matter how much you cape and coon for white folks, you're not welcome in our all-white community. Doesn't matter that you're half white. That community is for whites only, and you're not welcome. I don't give a damn how many times you didn't put on your tap shoes for these white folks. Those white people who live in those whites who live in those all-white communities, they don't want the Hodge twins living there. They don't want Myron living there. They don't want you.
This video comes from Oshay Duke Jackson.
Now, the Hodge twins started off on YouTube doing, in my honest opinion, bodybuilding and satire, and they built a really big fan base. They sold out. And how did they sell out? Well, they started making conservative media content. This is a lot of their content. Look at this one. The black trans-genders are always the worst. So basically what happens is that the Hodge twins went from a comedic duo to an anti-black conservative duo in order to make money once their comedic duo started going down.
Now, if I'm being generous to the Hodge twins, I don't think they would say they're anti-black. They'll probably say something like, we just believe in accountability. We think there's issues and we want to see the black community. That's what they would say. So
you notice how these coons always say they believe in accountability. If you ask Anton Daniels, does he dislike black people? He'll say, no, I just hold them accountable. If you ask the Hodge twins, does he hate black people? He say, no, I just hold them accountable. If you ask Officer Tatum, does he hate black folks? He'll say, no, man, I just hold them accountable. It's mighty funny. Same thing with Ringo. If you ask Ringo, does he hate black people? He say, no, I just hold them accountable. None of these coons that I just mentioned ever hold white people accountable to the same level that they hold black people. They never do. So you know for a fact that it's not about accountability. You just want to talk down on the black community to gain money from your conservative MAGA supporters. Because this is the thing. If it was all about accountability, surely you would be holding white people accountable for the violence they commit in this country. Look at all the mass shootings that took place this month. All of them were white men. All of them were white men. But you want to talk about violent black people, but you don't want to hold violent white people accountable. You see the shooting that took place at that church in Michigan yesterday. They're not going to say, see, this is the problem we have in America, violent white men. White men are always shooting up churches. They'll never say that, and they'll never say that in the mainstream media. These coons won't even say it in social media. Another white guy, Saturday nights in North Carolina, aired out a restaurant full of innocent people. Ringo TV lives in North Carolina. The same state that Ringo lives in, a white man aired out a restaurant. Unalived 3 people, injured 5 more people. Ringo ain't done no videos talking about how violent white men are in this country. You ain't seen Ringo make no videos about that, and he lives in North Carolina where everything happened.
It so happened that they were reacting to the Eric Orval video, and they were reacting to this new all-white town documentary, and they said something that was interesting.
To be honest, I don't want to live in the United States of America if it's not majority white. Once it becomes majority non-white, it's man. So I understand.
You hear these coons? This coon said, man, I don't want to live in America if it ain't majority white. I just don't want to live in America. If America ain't majority white, I don't want to live there. You hear these Sambos? You hear these coons? Man, I don't want to live in America if it ain't majority white. I just don't want to live in no America like that. And guess what? Those white folks who are creating those all-white towns, they don't want you living there. They don't give a damn that you're half white. In the eyes of white people, you're not white. They don't want you living in their community. They don't want you to taint their community with your Negro blood.
America, if it's not majority white. Once it becomes majority non-white,
Documentary, and they said something that was interesting.
To be honest, I don't want to live in the United States of America if it's not majority white. Once it becomes majority non-white, it's man. So I understand the fear of white people want to live in a country that's majority non-white.
But they're not the only guys that talk like this.
America is a nation, not just from an economic standpoint, but we also have an identity too, a cultural identity. And I'll tell you guys this too. As someone who's a first-generation American, my family's from Sudan, etc., I should not be saying this stuff, but I'm going to be honest. A lot of these guys that come from the third world, to include my old homeland, come here and scam. And the reality is, if we want America to stay America, we got to keep it majority white. We got to keep it the way it was founded.
But there was a time where Myron, who was trying to defend white races, got into a battle with a guy, basically calling him a saying N-word.
But you're sitting behind a man on a couch, can't even stand behind.
This white guy called Myron a saying N-word. And he told Myron, hey, man, shut up, fool. I'll come knock you out on camera, fool. You remember how Debo told Craig, how Craig on Friday, hey, man, hit the like button, man. Make sure you support the channel. You know how Debo told Craig on Friday? You remember the movie Friday and Stanley. Stanley was like the moist guy. You always got a moist guy who'll stay on the block. Stanley left somewhere, but Stanley left his window open. Debo said, hey, man, we're going to go in Stanley's window. Me and Smoke going to go in the window. Hey, Craig, you going to play lookout. Craig said, man, I ain't getting involved in that. Debo said, oh, you going to get involved? Well, I'm going to knock your ass out too. Hey, Stanley went to the store, Craig. Me and Smoke gonna go in the window, see if we can find some money. Hey, Craig, you gonna play lookout, Craig. Craig looked at Debo, said, man, Debo, I ain't getting involved in none of that. Debo said, oh, yeah, you gonna get involved. If you don't get involved, I'm gonna knock your ass out too. I'm gonna knock your ass out too. You gonna get involved. Man, I ain't getting involved in that. Oh, you gonna get involved. I'm gonna knock your ass out too.
Battle with a guy, basically calling him a saying N-word.
But you're sitting behind a Anon account, can't even stand behind what the you're saying. You got the nerve to talk to me when I got my real name out there, my real face out there. I'm live every day talking about actually contributing to the fight, and you got the gall to sit there and call me a saying, you piece of shit. I hope you wake up and have the replay, and I hope I come on a space I can see your dumb and actually talk to you. This is the problem that we have in these spaces. We got these stupid, autistic that will sit there and say, well, you're not white, so you can't talk about this, or you're... And it's like, okay, Reed, you want to go ahead and have this fight by yourself where no one's going to take you seriously because they're going to just think you're a kid? Remember, you... That's the problem.
Because they think you're the Triple K a member. Didn't you put on a hood and do their salute, you fucking goofy-ass loser? Wasn't that him?
Going on a platform that is...
Hey, man, Abba and Priest gonna show you the tweets, man. Hey, the Hodge twins was begging those white boys from that all-white town. They said, hey, man, we're 44% Caucasian. We're 44% white. Can we move in the community? They said, hell nah. No disrespect, but hell no, y'all can't move over here. This town is for whites and whites only. You Negroes are not allowed.
White extremists and
you fucking goofy ass loser. Wasn't that him?
Going on a platform that is white extremists and calling them autistic because they're not inclusive. It's crazy.
It is. That is actually nuts.
Crazy.
Good point.
It's like you're at McDonald's wondering why it smells like fries. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The people that are allowing you in these spaces and letting you talk are laughing in your back when your back is turned. They're like, "This is this clown. Look at this."
You're being generous. Back.
Yes, I am.
They're back. Yes. They literally looked him in his eyes and says, at the end of the day, you're still an N-word. You're a dirty...
One person said that.
No. Yeah. There was a whole spaces where they were saying that about him. Some of them challenged me into fight, saying, listen, we don't want you here.
Myron, you were in my space the other day, and I said, you're doing a great job calling out these Jews, but, if we take this country back, we want to...
Exactly, Scoop, exactly. Hey, man, the Hodge twins told those white people, hey, man, can we move in the community? We would love to get a house over there. They said, hell nah. We don't give a damn that y'all 44% white. Hell nah, you got that Negro blood. You cannot move here. This town is for whites and whites only. We don't give a damn about all that tap dancing you've been doing on social media, fool.
For white folks, and would you go home and you said I was born here and I'm not going anywhere? And this is what I think the problem is with working with non-whites is that once you think you help us, that you're just going to stay in our country. Why do you Browns think you could stay in my country?
Hell, Nick Fuentes, who he's very good friends with, his politics are that whites should be the majority people in power.
Yeah.
It is really this simple. We need white men in charge of everything again. That's it.
Hey, help us now, but pack your bags and go back to Sudan, you dirty.
It's like the house ninja that thinks he's gonna get a position by staying in the house. It's like, no, they don't like you either.
Yeah.
And it's also funny. I'm one of the biggest advocates for white people being able to practice and say white power, be able to maintain their relationship with white women, etc. I'm actually one of the biggest proponents of white people being able to say, hey, I want to keep my race white. I actually respect that, and I fight for their ability to say that. Then you get kids like this guy that come in and try to one of their biggest advocates that has a platform that's of the other color saying this stupid Idiots like you make me realize, damn, I shouldn't even be defending these.
That's crazy.
Wow. Now you say you shouldn't be defending. Myron is an idiot. Myron said he's one of the biggest advocates for white supremacists, but yet a white guy came in the chat room and told Myron, "Shut up, you saying N-word. I'll knock you out on camera, fool." Don't white folks don't respect you? Don't matter how much you tap dance. Don't matter how many times you put on your tap shoes, fool. That white man told Myron he'd come to Miami and knock Myron out on camera, and he called Myron a sand N-word. But yet he's still caping for them white folks.
Okay. We just gotta appreciate this. How like buck broken these guys are. Okay, but you understand, definitionally speaking, that means that they want to exterminate you or they want you out of their fucking country. I'm not gonna sit here and then do some kind of movement that's anti-Ethiopian and then be surprised when people with foreheads like mine get exterminated. You know, you're easy to spot. You made it clear what it's about. Shit, my shit's kind of shiny today, too.
It's always shiny.
No.
Hey, man, Abba and Preach been roasting Myron, man. So shout out to Abba and Preach, man, for keeping their foot on Myron's neck, man. Shout out to Abba and Preach.
But I'll put coconut oil today.
No, but usually you sweat a lot.
Touche.
But I mean, it was summer and now it's fall, so I mean.
I still sweat. It don't matter what season it is.
This is where the Hodge twins get their Negro wake-up call. So the Hodge twins go on to Twitter, and then they put this message. Hey, Arvo, I know your community is white.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look at the Hodge twins. Hey, man, this is embarrassing right here, man. I need you guys to get the likes up, man. This is embarrassing right here. The Hodge twins was begging white people for acceptance. See, this is how you look when you beg white folks for acceptance. They said, hey, I know your community is all whites only, but could you make an exception for us? We're not full black. We're over 40% white. White people said, we don't give a damn that you're half white. We don't care about none of that. This town is for whites and whites only. These fools are begging white folks for acceptance, and they got rejected. They said, hell no, y'all can't move in here. I don't give a damn that you cape for us on social media. I don't give a damn that you put down black folks while uplifting the MAGA community. Hell no, you guys are still black. You guys are still black. Therefore, you're not wanted in this all-white community. No, sir. You're not welcome.
Wake-up call. So the Hodge twins go on to Twitter, and then they put this message. Hey, Arvo, I know your community is whites only, but could you make exceptions for us two Negroes? We're not even full sub-Saharan. We are over 40% white. And Arvo says this. God bless the Hodge twins. But no.
That white man said, man, we don't give a damn about you being half white. Hell no, you ain't moving in this community. This community is for whites only. Sitting up there putting, I gotta play it again.
Don't matter what season it is.
This is where the Hodge twins get their Negro wake-up call. So the Hodge twins go on to Twitter, and then they put this message. Hey, Arvo,
I'm gonna mod you up right now, Big E. I'm gonna mod you up right now. I got you, bro. Hey, man, but check out this, man. This is funny. They was begging white folks for acceptance just to get rejected. That white man said, God bless y'all, but hell no, you Negroes ain't moving in this all-white community. Hell no.
Right now it's fall, so
I still sweat. Don't matter what season it is.
This is where the Hodge twins get their Negro wake-up call. So the Hodge twins go on to Twitter, and then they put this message. Hey, Arvo, I know your community is whites only, but could you make exceptions for us two Negroes? We're not even full sub-Saharan. We are over 40% white. And Arvo says this. God bless the Hodge twins. But no.
Yeah, what do you thought was about that? You black too. What you thought? That it was. I don't even know how I got to explain this to people.
Yo.
You black.
Yo, I don't say this very often, but you're genuinely you're simping for white supremacy.
Yes.
The same way these motherfuckers are on their OnlyFans paying and losing all their bread to like touch your bathwater. They don't even want to let you into their hood.
Hey, man, I just modded you back up, Biggie. Hey, man, this is funny. I got to hear it again. I know I rewinded it 2 times. I got to hear it again. Hey, man, the Hodge twins are begging for white acceptance just to get rejected. Them white folks said, hell no, y'all can't move to our community. This is for whites only.
And now it's fall, so
I still sweat. No matter what season it is.
This is where the Hodge twins get their Negro wake-up call. So the Hodge twins go on to Twitter, and then they put this message. Hey, Arval, I know your community is whites only, but could you make exceptions for us two Negroes? We're not even full sub-Saharan. We are over 40% white. And Arval says this. God bless the Hodge twins. But no.
yeah, what do you thought was about to happen? You black too. Was you tired that it was? I don't even know how I got to explain this to people. You black.
Hey man, look at Ava, man. That white man right here said, "God bless the Hodge twins," but hell no. We appreciate the fact that you put on your tap shoes for us, but as far as you Negroes moving in our community, hell no. This community is for whites only.
We're not even full sub-Saharan. We are over 40% white. And Arval says this. God bless the Hodge twins. But no.
Yeah, what do you thought was about to happen? You black too. Was you tired that it was? I don't even know how I got to explain this to people. You black.
I don't say this very often, but you're genuinely just you're simping for white supremacy.
Yes.
The same way these motherfuckers are on their OnlyFans paying and losing all their bread to like touch your bathwater, they don't even want to let you into their hood.
We respect what you say because we say the same thing, but
hey, they definitely cried offline, man. Hey man, I agree with you 100%. I agree 100%. They definitely cried offline. Once they realized the white community is not going to accept them in our all-white community, they definitely cried in the car, man. For sure. They thought if they tap dance enough for white people, that white people will somehow embrace them, that white people will accept them. And, you know, instead of being accepted, they were clearly rejected. Instead of the white community accepting, they were not accepted, they were rejected by the white community. This community is for whites only.
You're part of the things that we say and we stay against, so no.
That was so fucking pathetic. We're 40% white. Ugh. Also, actually, this is one question I want to ask. I want to ask, okay, for the white people watching, when you see guys like this, what does it feel like? I wonder what it feels like for them when they see dudes who are this buck broken worshiping their whiteness. If I was white, I'd be like, probably putting on some sunscreen and be like, yeah, we are superior. It's like RPGs, you know, when you get your racial traits, you guys need sunscreen. We need bulletproof vests.
Hey man, hey look, hey man, check this out. Hey man, them white folks said you might be half white, but you ain't bringing, hell no, you ain't bringing that Negro stuff over here. You ain't coming over here. You ain't moving in our community. This community is for whites only. Hell no, y'all can't move to this community. We're going to put a sign up so that everybody knows what it is. We're going to put a sign up that says whites only. A pure blood, a red-blooded, good old white American, brother. This community is for a thoroughbred, a pure red-blooded, white, good old white American, brother. You got to be a pure Aryan, 100% white. A good old red-blooded white American, brother. If you're not a red-blooded white American 100%, you're not welcome in this community. It's for whites only.
It's actually so impressive because even though you did this disgusting ass shit, right? Guess what? Most of the black communities will still take you in. Fucking pathetic.
40% white is black.
Hey, he's right about that. Look what Abba just said.
Right? Guess what? Most of the black communities will still take you in.
He's right about that. Black people will still accept him. While you taking a crap on black people, the crazy part about it is if you got your act right, black people will still accept you. White people say, nah, homie, we don't care about none of that tap dancing. This community is for whites only, and you're not welcome. Nah, you're not welcome. You got to be a good old red-blooded white American, brother, 100%.
Fucking
a good old red-blooded white American, brother. Those are the only people we want in this community. We don't want no Jews. We don't want no N-words in this community. A good old red-blooded white American, brother. Oh, yeah.
20% white is
a good old red-blooded white American, brother. If you're not that, you're not welcome in this community.
what?
Let's keep going.
You're black. Myron's black. If they're building an all-white community, they don't want you there. Myron knows it. Hodge twins knows it. The Hodge twins, they're getting paid from it. Myron's not even getting paid from it, but anything to be closer to white zaddy. Closer to white zaddy. If you don't want
that is our problem, man. We're too welcoming. This is what I said, man. We got to get rid of all the Sambos and the Coons. Sambos and Coons should not be welcome in the black community, and most definitely they're not welcome in the white community. The white people will use them to shit on black people, but the reality of it is this: white people will never accept them. They just use these Coons and Sambos to shit on black people because they'll say things that white people can't say without being labeled racist. So they use these Coons and Sambos to say the things that they really want to say. But white people will never accept them. Not really. This town is for whites only.
Daddy, crazy. I don't have a problem with black conservatism, but be principled and have a logical worldview that includes your existence in it. That's the bare minimum. That's like white people who spend all their day saying there should be no white people. I don't respect them either. That's fucking stupid. The worst part is like these motherfuckers are disgusting enough to birth kids into a world. And
Demetrius, you just got your comment blocked, man. You can't use racial slurs in my comment section, bro. So if you use a racial slur in the comment section, you just got deleted. Miss Red just deleted your comment, and rightfully so. Shout out to Miss Red for deleting that comment because I was getting ready to do it myself, but Miss Red beat me to the damn punch. Oh yes, you're tuned in to one of the best.
if they get their way, their kids are going to be the ones who suffer the most. How can I respect that?
Hodge twins are demons, bro. They have millions of followers. They've been on YouTube and they've been on social media for over 10 years, and they built their platform basically by bashing black people, and they decided to use their platform to attack a 17-year-old, a young man, not even an adult yet.
Well, okay. Oh my God, I can't believe these guys are making me do this. They're using their platform to attack a black kid. Yes, who's alleged to have murdered somebody in cold blood.
Yeah.
You know, there's a bit of context missing there. I'm sorry, I'm not going to exactly feel bad for a 17-year-old who's rocking around the school with a knife. There's an angle for something, there's a legal case that has to unfold, fine.
This community right here, buddy, I'm going to tell you about this community right here, buddy. It's for good old red-blooded white Americans, brother. Oh, yeah, we drink beer. We talk shit. We drink Budweiser. This community right here is for whites only, for good old red-blooded white Americans, brother, and that is it. If you're not a good old red-blooded white American, brother, you're not welcome in this community, brother. We drink beer. We smoke crystal meth. We drink beer. We don't like them. We don't want N-words in our community. It's for good old red-blooded white Americans, brother, and that is about it. Nobody else is welcome in our community, brother.
But making them this like super sympathetic. Oh, he's just like.
It's not just that.
To be honest, I don't want to live in the United States of America.
Moderators, listen, if you guys are not keeping the language clean, my channel was monetized, right? So if I see anybody saying something that's inappropriate, you're gonna get booted. I've gave you guys several warnings. I've warned people several times to watch their language in the chat. That goes for everybody. That goes for moderators. That goes for commenters and moderators. Be mindful of what you say in my chat. Please don't use profanity. Anyway, let's get back to the content.
If it's not majority white.
If you take a second and you step back, if these idiots.
My channel was up for monetization, right? Listen, I've been posting on this channel for a week. I finally met the threshold. We got over 4,000 watch time minutes, 3,000 subscribers. My channel was getting monetized. So I won't tolerate no buffoonery on this channel. That's a PSA, a public service announcement. PSA. Yeah.
Idiots who profess conservative values are really wanting a conservative country. They think it only happens if it remains majority white. First off, there's a huge segment of the white population that votes very liberally. 1. 2, immigrants, by and large, are more conservative than whites in terms of their values and their politics. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I tend to agree.
The reason why a lot of immigrants who are conservative still vote liberal is not because they love everything they say.
It's just because they want to be included.
But these guys are so buck broken. They're so obsessed with trying to appeal to whiteness that they'll just say the goofiest shit even if it means their own erasure. Are you stupid?
You're a second-class citizen in that.
Exactly, man. Them dudes went on suicide watch when white folks told them they couldn't come. They said, hell no, you ain't welcome over here. I don't give a damn how many times you didn't put on your tap shoes for us good old red-blooded white Americans, brother. Hell no, continue to put on your tap shoes, but you're not welcome in our community, brother. It's for good old red-blooded white Americans, brother, and white Americans only. We drink beer. We love Budweiser. We love crystal meth and Budweiser, buddy. And that's what we choose to do in our community for good old red-blooded white Americans, brother. And that is about it.
That's what they want. The benefit of being on YouTube and being consistent for the last 9 years is you get to observe the landscape.
I'm gonna fix my Zelle too, man. I'm gonna connect my Zelle account to another account. So we're gonna fix the Zelle, man. So shout out to Big E, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Change. You get to observe the trends, culture change. You see the content change. 2015, I was deep into stand-up comedy, doing the arts, and so I was going to a lot of events, and I was in a lot of left-leaning spaces. And at that time, there was a lot of weirdness around blackness in left-leaning spaces because the way that they were patched.
We're gonna drink our Budweiser, we're gonna smoke our crystal meth, and it's only for good old red-blooded white Americans, brother. And that is about it. We love beer. We love boobs. We love crystal meth. This community is for white only. Whites only.
The way that they would belittle you with a lot of their, very soft-spoken racism, right? And when I spoke out about against this stuff, I got labeled a right-winger oftentimes. Never bothered me because I knew in my heart of hearts, I don't look at black women and say bad things. I don't look at my nieces and nephews and don't go out of my way to make sure that they celebrate their blackness. I know my values, so I'm okay. But I did recognize that over time, after I did a lot of this repeated content, the kind of people that would be drawn to it would be people who would often say horrible things about black people in general. And I started looking at it very, very differently because sometimes you cannot be part of a movement, but if you operate online in the same way that movement does, then you might as well just be another agent for them.
You're a contributor.
And I get it too, because online, I'll be honest with you guys, if you're on YouTube, you want to get the quickest paycheck, be a minority, talk shit about the minority, you'll get a right-wing audience like this. If you're even half funny and charismatic, you'll shoot up to millions very quickly. And I've seen it with other creators where they are one way, then they start doing this.
I told you, look at Ringo TV. Look at the views Ringo TV was getting before he started caping for Charlie Kirk. You ain't got to take my word for it. Look at the videos that Ringo TV was making and look at the views that he got before he started caping for Charlie Kirk. Once he started caping for Charlie Kirk, he started getting 100, he started getting 100, 200, 300, and 400,000 views once he put on the cape, once he put on that cape for Charlie. Mr. CK, Charlie Kirk. So Ringo said, you know what? I'm going to start cooning. I'm going to start caping for Charlie Kirk. Then I'm going to see how many views I get.
This kind of content. And what happens is that insidiously, very in the back of their minds, something starts creeping in where it's audience capture. You get this backlash from the audience, which is incredibly positive, which maybe with backlash doesn't work, but you get what I'm trying to say. And then you're constantly reaffirmed that you're correct and that you're based. And
shout out to my girl Tisha for the 15 on the Cash App. Shout out to Scoop for the 5 on the Cash App. Shout out to everybody for supporting the show. Let's get some more contributors and supporters for King Supreme TV. Yeah, let's get it.
that you're blah, blah, blah. And then you start redoing that content and it gets bigger and bigger. And by the time you know it, you're like captured by your audience. That's why a lot of these guys can't say anything bad about their side openly, because the kind of feedback they get is so negative that they're almost pressured to do that. I'm incredibly proud when I put out a video and you guys disagree with me and I don't take it down and I don't feel bad. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll do another follow-up video and I'll admit it. But I will never be mad by the fact that I'm not beholden to you, the audience, when it comes to my values. These people will sell their soul, they'll sell their kids' future, they'll sell anything because the feedback loop they get for being different is too strong. And the last thing I'll say is, a lot of these people who do this kind of content, you'll notice a very particular trend. You know, black people when I was growing up treated me badly. Black women rejected me. It's a lot of
I almost choked on my own spit laughing at that corny stuff. Black women rejected me. Black people never accepted. They never accepted me. So I'm going to start cooning for white folks. But guess what? White folks don't accept you either. Blacks are the most welcoming people. What are you talking about, fool? Blacks are the most welcoming. Blacks are the most accepting. The Hodge twins had to find out the hard way. They said we're 40+% white. We have a white parent. One of our parents are white. Can we come to the white community and buy some property? That white man said, hell no, you ain't gonna come over here. Hell no. This community is for good old red-blooded white Americans, brother, and white-blooded, red-blooded white Americans only. That's who this community is for. It ain't for I was finna say something that was derogatory, but I had to catch myself. Anyway, let's get back to the content. For good old red-blooded white Americans, brother. That's who this community is for.
that stuff. And I personally, this is my own theory, a lot of these guys had negative experiences with black people growing up. And so they go into adulthood and they carry that on. And when it starts to come into their content, it seeps in. And then they get positive reinforcement. And like, damn, this is the first time that I can openly say this shit about the people who hurt me when I was a kid and feel rewarded. But you only have that experience because generally you're going to be around black people. So it's natural that they're to be the ones that are going to go after you or make fun of you. You know, I have friends who grew up around only white people. Black friends, and they got made fun of. They heard racist comments from them. I had other friends who grew up only around Asians, and they got it from those folks as well. People often look towards the race of the person hurting them, not recognizing, like, bro, if you're in a community, that's why black on black or white on white crime or Asian on Asian is always the highest percentage. It's not because you get targeted because you're Asian or you get targeted because you're white. You're around other people who look like you. And you
shout out to Abba and Preach, man. Listen, man, this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna drop the link real quick, man. I'm gonna bring some guys up, man. What do you have to say about, like, and we're gonna keep the language clean. We're gonna keep the language clean, but I would love to bring you guys up. I would love to get your opinion about all these Sambos and all these goons. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. Oshay the Dude Jackson is my brother. I got love for Oshay, so I'll never disrespect Oshay. You know, but one thing I will say is, Oshay, you got to call out Anton Daniels, because Anton Daniels is no different than the Hodge twins. Anton Daniels is no different than Officer Tatum. Anton Daniels is no different than Ringo TV. He's no different. They're one and the same. They're no different. So if we're gonna call out Sambos, clearly we got to call out Anton Daniels. If we're gonna call out Sambos, Anton Daniels falls in the same category as Officer Tatum and the Hodge twins. That's giving you the facts. Biggie, what it do, my brother?
What it do, Red? What it do, chat? What it do, Red?
Hey, chillin', man. What you thought on all these Sambos, man?
Bruh, look, it's because of these two diet Negroes is why these people feel like they got this superiority. I mean, really look at it. You got people like Myron's magic carpet riding ass tap dancing for him. You got these two diet Negroes tap dancing for him. You got Anton tap dancing for him. You had Tommy tap dancing for him. Right. You got Officer tap dancing for him. Right. All of these are quote unquote allegedly black men that's making these people feel like, you know what I'm saying, like Superman. You get what I'm saying? They are the reason that, see, they think that they're progressing us. Nah, you're giving, Ringo too. Y'all are giving these people, to me, the energy to keep doing what they doing because y'all side with them. You get what I'm saying? I mean, it's how do we progress when you got, number one, we didn't ask these niggas for their advice. It's like, who told Myron that he could speak for us? Who told Anton or these tap dance or Ringo that they could speak for us? Just because y'all got a little melanin, that does not mean you can speak for us. And when you came over here on a magic carpet, you do not speak for us. You know, if you begging them saltwater people to go live with them, you do not speak for us. I mean, you get what I'm saying, bro? Yeah, Angry Man too. Y'all do not speak for us. It's like y'all want black people docile. These are like the new Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson type dudes, because every time you remember, Red, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, every time it was an uprising, who did you see to make it go away? Jesse, Al, right? They would all, when every time we got turned up, they would send them to make sure that we turn it down. Okay, you see all what's been going on in this political climate out here. And we've been recipient for a lot of this. So guess what? Now that they see that black people as a whole is up and we on code, they got these dudes tap dancing hard. I guarantee you, they've been buying the hell out them tap shoes because they've been wearing them out. You get what I'm saying? So now you got these white folks thinking like, oh, well, see, even your own people saying we right. This has always been the problem. They never want to address everything as a whole. You get what I'm saying? They always look past white crimes. I haven't seen not one of these dudes make a video on the rise of these sick white cats that's out here mass shooting. They out here unaliving cops. They up here shooting up schools. You understand what I'm saying? People are coming up hung, but they are not addressing none of this. This has always been white people. White people have always firebombed churches. Mm-hmm. White people have always shot up school. Every time they don't get their way, the first thing they want to do is start shooting, killing, and burning. But you see, Red, you see how they flip that on us?
Hey, Biggie, you seen the shooting yesterday in Michigan where that white man drove the car into the church, set it on fire, and shot it up.
Yep. But see, we the ones that still have to ride that. I mean, even when they keep trying to bring up them George Floyd riots, Red, if you remember, when them riots first kicked off, it was a white man. I think he ended up being a cop. You remember, he was masked up and he was just going to them different buildings, busting out the windows. Some black people filmed him and said, hey, nigga, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying? That dude ended up becoming a cop. I mean, being a cop. So we didn't even start that. Dude, we wasn't getting, and then you know what kills me with them, Red? They want a pat on the back talking about, oh, well, George Floyd died. We didn't burn up the city. Charlie Kirk, we didn't, y'all burned up the city. Charlie Kirk died. We held vigils. We're not the same. It's like, well, nigga, you don't get no pat on the back for not burning up your city. He didn't get murked for no racial injustice. Why do you feel you deserve a pat on the back when you did it to him yourself? You don't deserve a pat on the back, and you are just the same. Do we need to go into the towns that you have burned down? Do we need to talk about how rowdy y'all got because Ruby Bridges went to school with y'all, a little black girl? Do we need to bring up that picture of Jerry Jones, Red, when that I don't know if it was a dude who went to school with them, but he was one of the people that was taunting them back then. You know what I'm saying? So they have a history of this. These people have a history of burning down whole towns. But somewhere in time, they were able to get everybody to look at us. And instead of us paying attention politically, what I would say is better late than never, but we let them put them jackets on us. You know what I'm saying? So now that we saying, nah, we ain't wearing that no more. Now they had to send out dudes like these tap dance twins. Oh, we want you to do better. Nigga, ain't nobody asked you nothing. Ain't nobody asked none of you nothing. You know, and it's a trip, Red, the other day they was playing that interview with Tariq when he ethered Myron, and when he said, okay, but let's talk about the Sudan. Oh, we're talking about in the United States. Nah, nigga. See, you really don't want to talk about where you came from because that would kill all of your talking points. You wouldn't have a talking point because it's like, nigga, you are a Sudanese. How many of your people are on your level while you over here comparing yourself to us? No, let's talk about where you actually came from. Where them white boys told you, nigga, are you gonna go back? Nigga, you ain't one of us. So like Lotus said earlier, all of these dudes, they are racially homeless. If somebody was to get on Anton, if them folks was to get on Anton right now, he on his own. If them folks was to get on Angry Man, the Tap Dance twin, Officer Tap Dance, and they really on his head because of that small hat interview. You know what I'm saying? Them saltwater people is on that nigga's head. Even Myron, but it's like Myron, you shut up, nigga. Don't nobody care what you got to say. I'm trying to figure out again who elected these niggas. You think because y'all got a YouTube channel that make y'all are the spokesman or the spokespeople for black people? Nah, champ, y'all kiss white ass. We don't want to have nothing to do with y'all. Bro, I left a comment on they shit. The Tap Dance twins got kicked out the whip long time ago. And Myron was never even in the whip. So why do any of y'all feel like y'all could speak for us is really beyond me. You know what I'm saying? Even especially with Angry Man, dude, all that yelling and all that little childish shit that he be doing. Bro, you call yourself a grown man and look at how you be acting. Nigga, you be on a panel with them women yelling and screaming. Nigga, you be sounding like one of the women, nigga. We didn't ask none of you niggas to come speak for us. Ain't nobody asked you for none of y'all advice. We've been getting along just fine. And if y'all keep y'all cameras out of the bottom part of our community and go to the people that's actually out here making it happen, see, Red, they won't do that because that won't fit their narrative. I guarantee you, everybody in this chat, I guarantee you, the majority of the people that they know are working class people. Just like you said the other day in your chat, while he was talking that crap, nigga, I was at work, nigga. I'm in management, nigga.
He made a video saying, you blacks, you don't want to work. You don't want to take care of your children. You're ready to go to prison and get a job. I'm like, wow, you really saying this? We know they got to be paying you. Because Ringo, most of the black people in your chat that support you got jobs. He said, we don't want to work. We don't want to take care of our children. We just want to go back to prison and complain about the white man.
And you could tell they paying them. Because it's always the same script. Do you notice every time they get these diet black dudes out here, they all literally verbatim, word for word, say the same things?
Yeah, because this is what's crazy, bro. Like, look at Ringo's channel. Before he started caping for Charlie Kirk, he was getting like 4,000, maybe 5,000, 7, 8, maybe 10 here and there. But for the most part, most of his lives was getting like 3,000, 4,000 views at the end, even though he had 200,000 subscribers. The moment he starts caping for Charlie Kirk and telling black people we ain't this and we ain't that, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. And ever since that, once he realized that the MAGA community was supporting him for caping for Charlie Kirk, he kept his foot on the gas ever since. Hey, Biggie.
Well, it ain't he gotta know it ain't nothing but pandering because they all already let you know where you stand. Nick Fuentes told you where you stand. Matter of fact, he said he tired of people like you, Candace Owens, Officer Tap Dance. They all said that they tired of y'all.
You seen Nick Fuentes went off on Myron. He said, "Nah, you a token. We don't want you over here. This community is for white. This community is for whites only." And you seen the Hodge twins reached out to those white guys. He said, "Man, we have white. Can we move in?" The white guy said, "Hell no, y'all ain't coming over here."
Yeah, but see, they know that they can't come. Come on, just keep it honest. I'm gonna ask you in the chat. I'm gonna ask you, Red, and the panel in the chat. Do y'all really think Angry Man, Myron, the Tap Dance twins, y'all know, do y'all really think that they could go stand in front of an audience full of black people after all of the disrespect that they've shown us? I say no. So they gotta keep tap dancing. You see what I'm saying? They can't go to where it's a black venue. You know what I'm saying? Myron come to LA, but you gonna go up there to USC where the money at. How do you say you're trying to appeal to black people, but you don't never go to the areas the black people are in? Like, like the NOI do. I'm not saying that I ain't no Muslim, none of that, but I'm saying they go talk to the youth where the youth is at. You know what I'm saying? You'll see them in the neighborhood. You'll see them around the people you call yourself, right, trying to reach out to. But every time black people see y'all online, y'all are kissing pink ass and you're degrading your people. Bro, I saw a clip on Anton on one of them shows. Man, I can't stand you bees. I can't stand you bees. You niggas did. I mean, bro, he was going in, and I'm like, well, nigga, what make you think we like you, though? That's what these niggas don't get. Nigga, you will never come anywhere black, nigga, because you already know probably what's going to happen to y'all. Y'all need to get a little bit of this work.
But this what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring up Scoop, and I'm gonna bring up AW1, man. Scoop, what it do, my bro? Scoop, where you at, Scoop?
What it do, what it do, what it do. Salute to the chat. Salute to Red. Man, man, the Coonin just don't know when to stop. They don't. It's a grift. That's all it is. Look, man. Look. Let me dispel some of these things. First of all, the pale community don't know nothing about the black community. They get their information from Fox News, whatever news source it is. This has been going on for years. This ain't nothing new. They've always denigrated us. They've always talked about us. We've always been a top news stories, everything they do. But guess what? Out of all the things that they want to say we do, there is nothing that compares to what goes on in their communities. Nothing. I've lived in their communities before. I know the things they get away with. I've seen it myself. Just like when they said, oh, well, there's a law that passed, which was part of Gloria Allred, that attorney. If you can't pay your child support, you don't deserve a license. Which had to be the goofiest law I've ever heard. What the hell does your child support have to do with the license? And at that time, I lived in a white neighborhood. And white folks didn't know nothing about that. Talking about, you do? They take licenses? White guys, brother, they take your license? I've been behind on my child support for the last 2 years. I've never heard of nothing like that. I'm like, really? Because they sure come after us quick, fast, and in a hurry. Had my license taken back then about 3 times. And I wasn't even behind. I'm like, dang, really? But see, the laws is different for them because when they say something and they do something, it boils down to I'm white and I say so.
Right.
Because they say something about us, it's supposed to be true. And you got goofy Negroes like these coons, Officer Tap Dance, the Hodge twins, who bite all into that. How are you going to label us as a community that we all do the same thing as though we all think the same, we all do the same, we all live the same, we all in the same neighborhoods? That's a damn lie. We don't all think the same. We never have. Regardless of what's went on, we all have not thought the same. We all got different opinions, and we all may be working for a goal, but don't mean all of us got the same thinking to get there. Period. But that's what they make their grift off of, because the news has been controlled by guess who? Them. They're not going to make themselves look bad, their communities look bad, or their leaders look bad. They don't have a problem with making every single leader that we've had look bad. Look what they're trying to do to Dr. King. Come on, he cheated on his wife. He did this. What does that have to do with the man he was? What does that have to do with the work he does?
Man.
But see, the minute something happened, Red, remember Dr. King said, judge us by the content of our character, not the color of our skin. Y'all despised that man when he was living. Now, all of a sudden, you want to use his quotes? You want to use his speeches when it's convenient. You ain't never liked any of our leaders when they breathing, but you love them when they don't. But you want to sit up here and use that against us. And like I said, you got ones that come over here, especially these ones that come through, you know, from different countries and don't know the history of America. They don't know the background. They don't know what we've been through. But want to speak for us. They ain't got no reason to speak for us. But that's who they put up there because that points a negative stereotype against us that they've been pushing. Back in the day, if Obama get elected, it's going to be fried chicken and watermelon in the White House. Really? That don't take. Every single thing they do is racially motivated. But what's the first thing they tell us? Why y'all always got to bring race into it? Why it always got to be about race? We are not the ones that brought race into it. Y'all did. We respond to what you guys put out. We strong, we black, we warriors. We're not going to sit there and let y'all do whatever you want to us or say whatever you want. But the problem is they silence our voices because they don't want the world to hear what we have to say. And when we do say something, they downplay it. They say it didn't happen like that. They'll twist the story. They'll have people lie, just like on a court case. If they really want to put you in prison bad enough, they will pay people to lie and say you did something you did not do to put you behind bars. We've always had our voices silenced. Just like you brought up during the riots. The same thing happened with the George Floyd riots that happened with the Rodney Kings. I know good and damn well I seen it for myself. The blacks are breaking their stores. No, that was not us. That was the Mexicans out there looting they behind off. They tore everything. Man, they was in ABC Market, Boys Market, Ralph's. They was tearing them streets up, running down the street with shopping carts, and didn't even know who Rodney King was. Talking about Rodney King.
Hey, Scoop, you know, man, because look, man, I was only 9 years old in '92, right? But check this out. The Mexicans be having them pickup truck, man. Them Mexicans had couches, refrigerators, stoves, everything on them couches, everything on them trucks going back to their own. The Mexicans furnished their whole house off of Rodney King. You know, Scoop.
For sure. Man, I'm telling you, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Got a whole bedroom set tied to the top of an 89 Corolla. Mexicans hanging out there. Everybody got a hand up there holding it. They going down the street smiling and grinning. I'm like, do y'all even know what this is about? No, you just seen a chance to get some free goods. That's all it was. But who did the news blame it on? Us. They good for that. That's all. That's the reason why we go through what we go through anytime we speak. That's the reason why we go through what we go through with this YouTube thing, because they want to silence our voice. America is not built on the truth. It is built on a lie. America has always been built on lies, and the lies are always off of our backs. My people, I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm worried about my folks. My people have suffered the most. We were put into chattel slavery. We the one that's been mistreated. We the ones that haven't been paid. We the ones that have to live in the worst communities. We the ones that have to fight for survival. We the ones that they look for when they want to put something on somebody. We the ones that can't go out. Back in the day, it's still the same way. You got to worry about what you wearing. If you're going to be racially profiled, how many's in the car when you driving down the street? Looking right, look to the left. Stay in the rearview mirrors, hoping the ones ain't behind you. Wonder if you gonna get pulled over. Hoping that ain't gonna be your last night and they gonna unalive you on the side of the road somewhere. We the ones that sitting at them stoplights nervous, looking around, don't know what's gonna happen next. We the ones wondering like, who's this behind me? Is this the police? Them folks don't go through that. And then they will say, oh, well, maybe you should clean up your neighborhood. Maybe you should stop polluting our neighborhoods. Maybe you should stay out of our neighborhoods. Maybe you should stop making laws that make our neighborhoods in the position that our neighborhoods are in. Maybe you should start with that. Maybe you should start allowing us to get these jobs that we're supposed to get, but the minute we get them, you call them DEI? So you're telling me that black people are not qualified to fly planes, we're not qualified to work in offices, we're not qualified to do anything but what, play sports and keep y'all entertained? We do way more than entertain. We are a multifaceted people. We accomplish anything that we set our hearts out to do. But you don't like that. That's because you're jealous of us. You want us at the bottom because you can't compete with us. You want us at the bottom because you're not like us. You want us at the bottom because you fear us. Tell me that ain't the truth.
Hey, you know what? And you know what, Scoot? Charlie Kirk said this. Charlie Kirk said, man, I agree that shit. You know what I mean? When it comes to basketball and football, blacks should be the majority because that's your guys, that's your lane. You're better than whites when it comes to being athletic. But he said, okay, we're gonna give you the blacks, you guys are great at that. It's acceptable that the NBA is 80% black and the NFL is down there 80% black. We get it because blacks are more gifted athletically. But when it comes to corporate America, that should be majority whites because surely whites, we have all the competence, we have all the intelligence, and the only reason that blacks get jobs in corporate America is because of DEI. Basically, he said we stupid and don't deserve jobs in corporate America. That's what Charlie Kirk said.
This is the trope they always try to push because anybody black, no, you got to be 3 times better than anybody you competing with. The Asians, the whites, the Mexicans, anybody, the East Indians, we got to prove everything. We've always been under scrutiny since slavery. Anything that we are or try to be, we have to prove to them that we deserve it. And then on top of that, 9 times out of 10, it's a white that has to accept that you're that good or you're that great or you can do the job. They ain't just out here giving Negroes jobs for free. Where they do that at? Because I sure like to know. Because I know my job. I'm a truck driver. I've been a truck driver by nature for a long time. Just to get my foot in the door, I had to prove it wasn't enough that I went to school and got the training. That's not enough. Now, guess what they doing? They cracking down on the truck drivers. They doing everything. Now they're attacking the truck drivers. So which is it? Do we not want to work? Do we need to put ourselves up by our so-called bootstraps, as you say, since you done took the boots from us? Now you sitting up talking about what we ain't going to do. And now all of a sudden, the only reason we got the job is DEI. But ain't y'all said blacks are lazy and don't want to work and we ain't doing nothing but bringing down the country? The only thing we want to do is shoot each other. The only thing we want to do is gangbang. The only thing we want to do is sell drugs. We're the most degenerate community. We're at the bottom. White would be better off in a town without black people. But so make up your mind, which is it? So if we're going to work and being productive, why is it a problem? Why are you still coming with that? But we don't work, though. I get up for work every single day at 3:30 a.m. and I don't get off till 5. So what are you talking about? That's all I do is work. I spend more time at work than I do with my own family, but I don't work, though, right? I'm the supervisor at my job. I run a whole facility by myself. I don't got nobody over me. I got other supervisors that come from different areas, but where I'm at, I'm the head GGA in charge. Period. So tell me that's a lie. Tell me I got that by DEI. I didn't get nothing by DEI. Ain't nothing ever been given to me in my life. Everything I always had, I had to bust my butt to get. And I always had somebody white jealous, pointing at me, looking at me. Well, why did he get that? Because one thing anybody black know, it ain't just about getting the job. You got to fight to just keep the job because you got everybody trying to get you out of that job. If it ain't the Mexicans, if it ain't the Asians, it's damn so them palm-colored people trying to get your butt out of there. Well, why he got the job? The same ones that if you in a supervisory position, gonna be disobedient, basically tell you they ain't got to listen to you. And we already know why they don't want to listen, because you black. They feel they ain't got to take your orders. You can't tell them nothing. And then I've had plenty of people go, well, why he did that? I should have got that. Everything they thought they could do. Sabotage, watching what time I come in, trying to see if I'm a minute late so they can go run and tell. Man, come on now. DEI ain't never get, just like affirmative action. None of that benefited us. That benefited their community and white women. But they don't want to talk about that. That's why they keep our voices silent. That's why they don't want us talking. Because they will tell black people, y'all talk too much. Y'all always running off of their mouth. Y'all always got something to say. You damn right, because y'all always got your foot on our neck. Get your foot off our neck for once. Leave us the hell alone. Let us live. Let us do what we got to do. And hey, by the way, while you're worried about all that, let's get them reparations checks going, and I'm going to land it there.
Man, shout out to my man Scoop for pulling up and dropping that, man. This one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring up AW1, man. AW1, you got it, my brother.
You can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. You got the flow, my brother.
Man, the last two guys, man, they were cooking. Shout out to them. I love it when they come up. It's like that last brother said, Scoops. Yeah, black folks we have to put in 3 times the work just to prove they were worthy of that job or careers.
Yep.
That's always been that way, but we're willing to do it to get into those positions. And I'm glad that you brought up the last point about Charlie Kirk saying that, we're good at basketballs. I actually heard that fool say that.
Yeah, he said
go
we
ahead,
qualify for sports, but we don't qualify for corporate America. That's a white man's job.
He literally said that. Well, don't tell Piers Morgan that. Oh, by the way, speaking of Piers Morgan, I don't know if you heard, Red. Sadly, I think another sister got stabbed in the neck.
She did, man. I heard it was a white
train.
man. Yeah, it was on a train. So I guess the white man felt like, well, since a black man did that to a white woman, I'm gonna sit up there and attack a random black woman, and I'm gonna cover that story later on today or tomorrow.
For sure. Well, here's the thing. According to Piers Morgan, though, because he was on there with some guy named Tate. I don't know his first name.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that, if it was the other way around, if it was a beautiful black woman that got stabbed in the neck by a white dude, it would be all over the news. It would be a national story. Well, it didn't make national news. The reason why the story is alive because of channels like yours and New Black Media.
Mm-hmm.
We're bringing it up. The mainstream media is not talking about it.
Right. That's a fact. That it's like it's never happened, and then we had a white guy. I believe it was like 5 years ago in Oakland. I forget her name. Please, somebody remind me of who she was. But this was in Oakland, California, at the BART train station. A white guy unalived a random black woman who ain't did nothing to him at all. But now they want to highlight this crazy black dude who did that to this white woman. But listen, man, it is what it. Hey, you got it, AW1. I'm just sick of the hypocrisy, but you got the flow, bro.
Right. I mean, no, I'm with you on that. That's what I mean. It's like they're called out this hypocrisy, saying that it's if it was a black woman. Like I said, I want people to send these stories to Piers Morgan of all these black folks that have been attacked by these white folks.
Right.
I promise you, he never heard of them. And if he does, now here's the thing, because this is the same fool that just wrote a book called "Woke is Dead." Now, let me tell you something. I got a response to that. Woke is back because black folks are starting to wake up, and I'm gonna tell you how we are. Because we showed it to the Democrats this year. If we don't get nothing for our vote, you're not getting in. If we weren't woke, the Democrats would have won. It would have been same old.
Starting to look to see what's even the value. Like, even is it worth it?
Go ahead, creator. You got it, creator. Go ahead.
We was asking a conversation about education and things of that nature. So now, as far as constituents, we talking about the voters, not what popular, not what we talking about on these apps. We talking about people that go stand in them lines and vote right for their party's interests. That is what matter most. And if we, those that really want to speak this into existence, and I'm gonna hold that true to the Myrons and Angry Mans and Antoines, because bro, it's crazy because I've been thinking, I'm like, since when did these guys since when, bro? Since when do you have a right to kick my women around? You understand? Like, at what point do somebody stand up? I was like, bro, they talking so bad about the women. I'm like, at this point, it's like kicking dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, find something else. And if you do have a problem with my women, where's your solution? Show me the ones that you didn't change their life as a result of this shit you're talking about. Show me one. And in there, I might consider what it is that you're talking about. You understand? But other than that, if it's just rip rap, then yeah, those of us in the community gotta say something. And yeah, they don't represent what I say. You understand? I love my black women to the core, everything about them. Now, because you sensitive and weak and don't know how to handle them, that's on you. They ain't got nothing to do with me. And that definitely don't give you the right to get the jaw jacking about my women, bro. And that's just real shit. Because I could show you several that's probably clowning harder than the one you think is the best one that you got on your squad. So I don't know what he talking about. And I think you said it earlier. You got your bucket in the lowest part of our community. And I guess for some reason, because you think it's the lowest part, quote unquote, the lowest part of our community, you think it's like fair game or some shit. Like the whole world doing us like that, bro. Like it's fair game to say whatever about black folk because it's down here, you know, it's black, it's them. They consider like since when? Even if they was, who gonna stand up for that guy if that guy don't stand up for himself? And so, you know, with us, with our locks and our bald heads and our beards and our geniuses and our not so genius and our hood and our aggression and bonnets and all that tattoos and gold teeth and 20s and 24s, blades, all that shit. That's us. Who are you to tell me that I can't do me? That's my culture. This is what, and who are you to talk shit about me? That's like me going to talk about somebody's yarmulke. Who are you to talk about what I do and how I do it, bro? Nah, somebody got to stand up because if we don't, you know what I mean, ain't nobody gonna do that.
That's a fact. I appreciate you, bro. You're right about that, Crip. Pull up anytime, my brother. I appreciate your commentary, man. Most definitely, man. Let me bring up yeah, man, and I like how we doing things over here, man. We're gonna keep the language clean because we this channel was getting monetized, and you know, we met the threshold of 4,000 watch time minutes. So we're gonna continue to push forward, and I'm gonna start doing listen, I'm gonna get back to my main channel in a minute, but I wanted to build this channel up, right? So we're gonna focus on building this channel up right here. And that's what we're doing, man. So we got to end before the 2-hour mark, man. So we're gonna end at the 2-hour mark exactly. So Biggie, man, I'm gonna give Biggie I'm gonna let Biggie finish his spiel. So I'm gonna give Biggie 4 or 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes to finish his spiel. And after that, man, we gonna land this right here, man. And I appreciate everybody for pulling up and supporting the content. $ Red 1803. Subscribe to the channel. The likes are free. And bless the Cash App if you can. Now let me bring up Big E. You got it, brother.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this. Y'all watch our women and y'all watch our kids. Cause y'all know they have a history of going after us when we're the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, they will attack us in church. They would attack stores, schools. It seemed like they're trying to resort back to that. You get what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden, students is coming up hung and they out here, you know, stabbing up women. You know, they out here on the rampage.
Yeah.
You know, you remember when they was talking that white men fight back, white men fight back. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see they all up in their feelings for an environment that they actually created. That's what they need to be mad about. Y'all, ever since we've been in America with y'all, y'all have been in control. And the country is where it's at today because of y'all. Okay, but now that, you know, the country done pretty much exploded because we said F everybody. Now you on a rampage. Y'all mad at us because we ain't celebrating Charlie Kirk. You was mad at us because we didn't celebrate Kamala. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was mad at us because we told Obama to kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, bro, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know where their mind is at. Screw what they talking about. You know, they know that they have the courts on their side. So this is why I'm saying, if you got young kids, even teenage kids, man, check on them. You know, you need to go back and forth. Ladies, get you a concealed carry. You know what I'm saying? Because you know they're going to come after y'all. So, you know, be prepared. If you a single mother, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Go get you a jammy and learn how to shoot it because you see what time it is. You see the saltwater nation is out here rampaging because of what they did to their own people. But see, they want to take it out on us. And that's what they've always done. Every time they feel pain, they want us, for some strange reason, to feel their pain. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't enough. They couldn't have just left it at they did what they did to Charlie Kirk. They got to start threatening HBCUs now. You see what I'm saying? You remember them dudes that just went to that campus to agitate all them kids, but they ran them up out of there. You see what I'm saying? So they're going after your kids and they're going after the women. Ladies, see, this is where that if you're going to be a single woman, you got to be aware of your surroundings. Okay? These saltwater people that y'all divest to have historically attacked y'all. And they were able to get away with it. And you see, you over the last, about 4 or 5 years, you should be able to pick up on that, because Red has even played stories of divesting gone wrong, but you've never really heard the results of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, are those dudes doing time? What, did they get out? You get what I'm saying? You remember that cop, Red, that unalived that black girl said she was gonna tell his wife he unalived her, and his buddies tried to cover up for him?
Hey, that was in Mississippi, the same place where the hanging took place. And the cop said he had a white wife, and once the black woman, see, this is the thing, he got tired of messing with her because he was paying, he was helping her with her car note and stuff, and he said, hey man, I got a white wife, man, I can't do this anymore. I can't deal with you anymore. I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna tell your wife. I'm gonna tell the police force. The white man said, oh yeah. He went to her house late at night and unalived her while her children was in the other bedroom. Her children came into her bedroom the next morning and found her dead with her noodles knocked out, laid on the bed, and their children had to see that. The white man, so you gonna expose me? I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Right. Now you see, and by him being the color he is, on top of being a cop, that story got swept under the rug.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. So this is what they have always done. They look to go, if you notice, they don't never go to the hoods where they say the dudes is at. They want to go to the stores. They want to go to the churches. Ain't nobody gonna be sitting in church with no pipe. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go where there more than likely are not going to be people there that's armed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, if you are in the area that's multicultural, I guess, and it's a lot of them folks over there, and especially if you living in a red state, you really need to be on high alert. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. The judges are on their side. The prosecutors are, even when they be dead wrong, they still be trying to uplift them people like they were 100% right because it was against you. You get what I'm saying? Anything that's black and white, you not going to get the benefit of the doubt. And you already know that. So real talk, if you got kids, tell your kids to be aware of their surroundings. Ladies, stop driving and be out here, willy-nilly, like, nothing is going on. Like, oh, they better not do nothing to me. Nah, those times are over. The white community is up right now, and they are looking for revenge. And to me, they're looking to take it out on us. Yep. I mean, again, that white man fight back shit again, when it's like, well, fight back against who? Y'all did that to yourself. Now all of a sudden we getting hung. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden y'all see what's going on, man. So real talk.
Y'all. Daniels, and then look, Big E, Anton Daniels is so much as Sambo. He said, yeah, but it ain't that hanging in Mississippi had nothing to do with race, because a white man got hung too. That guy who got hung was a Jew, and the reason why they hung him because he was supporting HBCUs in Mississippi as well. So they said, oh, you an N-word lover? We're gonna get you too. What happened in Mississippi burning? When the white people, the handful of white people who assisted blacks in the civil rights movement, what did white folks do to them? They unalived them. So this right here is history repeating itself. Oh, you gonna help them? Oh, we gonna get you too. But Anton Daniels said, oh, well, they did it to a white man too, so it had nothing to do with race. Man, I be wanting to smack the taste out of his mouth, man.
Yeah, but see, that lets you know that he's disingenuous. It got everything to do with race, because, okay, Anton, their history is anybody white that helped black people got the same treatment as the black people.
Exactly.
So that had everything to do with race. But see, again, stop supporting these fools. Y'all already see they are the enemy within. You know what I'm saying? Every black organization got taken down because of infiltration, because of people like Anton. I mean, how do you claim to be black, but you're catering to white people and you're using their exact talking points? Anton is not finna tell me that the majority of black people that he knows are bums, don't work, don't take care of their kids. That's cap. I'm not buying that. So you're just regurgitating and repeating their talking points. You sound like Myron, who sounds like all the rest of them. You know, like y'all all sound like Charlie Kirk, Rush Limbaugh, Richard Spencer. All of y'all sound the same. It's the same. Y'all literally say the same things with the same numbers, everything. Nothing is different. But screw all that. Don't let that distract you. Watch your kids, watch your women, and watch your elderly. And I'm going to land with that because y'all know the history of these people. It's 500 years of it. So y'all be careful out there. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Drink your water, eat your veggies, and by all means, keep winning.
Shout out to Big E for pulling up, man. Yeah, man. Like Big E is right about, he's right about that. We got to watch our children. We got to watch our women because they're going after soft targets. Listen, the police knocked on my door last night, right? The police came to my door like right after midnight. Boom, 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 boom. Looked out of the window. I'm like, hell no, I'm not going to open the door. I don't know what the hell you here for. You know what I'm saying? Went back a minute or two later. They was knocking at the neighbor's door. So hell no, don't open the door. If the police come to your door unannounced, do not open the door. They don't have a warrant. They have no business being there. So hell no, I didn't open the door. I'm laying in my bed and got a police knocking on my door after midnight. Hell no. But go ahead, Ms. Red. What's your take on everything, Ms. Red? You got the flow, baby.
I like that we were ending. Hi, everyone. I just think that it's mighty funny. The Saxons have rejected them from their Saxon-only communities. Speaking on the Hodge twins, and I just feel like as a certified FBA Indigenous American, we do not accept. Perhaps the Asians will accept them into their community. I don't know. They're 100% racially homeless at this point, so maybe someone else will be willing to take them on, and or maybe not. But at that point, it's their problem, not ours. But what I'm really wanting to know is when will the Saxons reject their sellout rhetoric? That's what I'm waiting on. It's like it's acceptable for the jokes. It's acceptable, if they for entertainment. They support them heavily for the entertainment and they accept it for the validation. To be able to say, see, we were right. See them, those N-words or, whatever, those blacks or whatever. You see them? See, we were right. We were right. So it's only acceptable when they are talking, when they're not talking about them. But see, if these same sellouts start talking about them, they pull support. And so I just don't understand that. It's like they're using you guys as a play, as a come up, and you're allowing it. And I think when that happens, we don't need to be accepting of these people back into our communities. Once you have been excommunicated, you are excommunicated. And unfortunately, they did it to themselves. We just made them walk the plank when they tried to come crawling back. So that's what we need to do. All, as you say, Sambos need to walk the plank.
They do
Keep them out.
because
Right.
think about it. Now you see how the Hodge twins was begging those white people. We're half white. Can we come to the community? That white man said, "Hell no, you can't come over here. God bless you. We appreciate you tap dancing for us, but you still can't come over here."
Right. See, where I'm from, they'll say, bless your heart. And we know what that means. They're calling you slow and ignorant. And that's a nice way of saying heck no. Absolutely not. So that's just my thing on it. I was engaging with someone from the dominant society in the chat, and it would have been nice for them to come up for us to hear their perspective. Speaking on, another content creator who I'll remain nameless, but but you speak about him often. I just don't like to say his name. I don't like to give him clout. Like in my mind, he doesn't even exist. But yeah, I really think that they shouldn't be allowed back. We shouldn't have open arms for everyone. And I don't understand why our people do it. We do things you know, we do things even though it can cause our demise. And I don't understand what being the sacrificial lamb is going to gain us.
Yeah, I know, and it's just crazy, man. Like I tell people, you remember when we had that conversation? I was telling you about how Coonan, how the white MAGA people are paying black people to sell out, and I said, look at Ringo's content before he put on that cape for Charlie. If you look at his content before he put on the cape for Charlie, he was getting 4,000 viewers on the live stream, 5,000, 6, 7, maybe 10 here and there. But at average, he was getting like maybe 3,000 to 4,000 views on his live streams. The moment he put on that cape for Charlie and he started telling black folks that they were ignorant and they were racist towards white people, the MAGA community came out in full support. He started getting 200,000 views, 300, 400,000 views. And when he went live, Ringo was only getting 200 and 300 live viewers on the stream. But when he started caping for Charlie, he started getting 4,000 live viewers on the live stream. And then when the video uploaded to YouTube, it was 400,000, 300,000. So if you guys don't believe me, you ain't got to take my word for it. Look at Ringo's views before he started caping for Charlie. Then look at his views once he started caping for Charlie. It is night and day.
Exactly. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of those emo kids. The real Eeyore type, Winnie the Pooh type ninjas. I'm trying to be nice with my words here. And it's like, nobody likes me. No one cares about me. No one. See, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that I sell out since y'all don't like me. Black women don't like me. No one, just real, Debbie Downer poo ninja type dudes. Like, ew. Like, I see why nobody likes you. And then it's like, so what's next? What's next, Mr. Content Creator? Are we going to, start doing some of the things that the dominant society does when they get upset and start mass shooting people because no one likes you?
Yeah, because listen, Ringo said it himself. He said, you guys are not supporting me. I put out this content and you're not supporting me. So I'm going to do something different. What he was telling you is, in other words, he was saying, I'm about to start cooning. Oh, y'all ain't going to support me? I bet when I start cooning, I'll get the numbers. And then once I start cooning, I'm going to really go in on you guys. So Ringo gave you the warning. It's like, come on, y'all. Y'all don't have enough common sense. Ringo was pissed off with the black community for not supporting him. So he says, you know what? I'm going to just start cooning. I'm going to start caping for Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to tell black people that they're ghetto, unemployed, they don't want to work, and they don't take care of their children. And I'm going to push that. And the MAGA audience is going to support me 100% once I go against blacks. That's exactly what he told everybody. But I guess people didn't see the play. That's exactly what he said in so many words. Oh, you ain't going to support me? I'm going to start cooning.
Exactly. He showed up in full costume with his MAGA hat on in full actor mode. Way ahead of Halloween. So he's definitely early for that.
Yeah.
Way ahead of it. And it's like, I don't understand white people, and I mean why not white people, but why people like to be spoon-fed information. They'll never go off and and see what this person was about. They'll let someone, they'll just put someone on a pedestal, they'll pedestalize them, and they'll support them with, monetarily, without them looking into any background on what they did beforehand.
You're right, but they don't care. As long as you're taking a crap on black folks, those MAGA people will support you. You gonna take a crap on black folks and support what we saying? Oh, we'll support you 100%, and that's how they are. Right? If you started right now, you can take a black YouTuber right now. If he started shitting on his own people and started telling white people they're right and black people ain't this, black people ain't that, man, those MAGA supporters will come out in droves to support that black content creator if he denigrates his own people.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what he's going to do, because when the CK thing starts to die down, like, what are
Right.
you gonna do then?
Right.
Because all of his content has been around this man over
Mm-hmm.
the last week. It's been a week or so now since this has
It's
happened.
been 2.5, 3 weeks.
Has it been 3 weeks since that man passed?
I would say maybe 2.5 weeks, something like that. But
Let's see. That was on the
when
10th. Remember, it was on the 10th.
okay.
So you're about right. Yeah. Yeah. Or coming up on 3 weeks. But yeah, so this is where all his content comes from. And I just don't understand why. Like, why? When are they going to get out of the matrix and see this? And it's not just for him, it's for the other one, for the other, I guess, for lack of a better term, sellouts, that are pandering to the dominant society. So it's not just him, it was the ones before him that came before him and are doing the
Right.
same things.
Yes.
And it's like, when are you guys going to understand what they are doing? They are pandering to you. Even what's his big face, big nose, Squidward.
Mr. Potato Head, Anton.
Yeah. It really looks like someone just really went and got a nose and just stuck it on his face. And I don't know what it is. I think he thinks because he wears those Versace glasses that it does something for him. But what did Medea say on that one show? Like, them some nice shoes, when they was talking about an ugly baby. You can't look at the baby and can't say the baby cute, but them shoes are nice. Them some nice glasses, Anton. But that's it.
he said that we're jealous of Charlie Kirk and we don't want to work. That's what
we
Anton
didn't
Daniel said.
we didn't know who he was. And to be honest, I
That's the
feel
crazy part about it, is how we gonna be jealous about somebody that we didn't even know about. If you look at the majority of black content creators, nobody made videos about Charlie Kirk prior to his death. Why? Because we didn't even know who he was. You remember when I thought Charlie Kirk was the same guy at the what was that rally that they did in Texas after the
for Anthony Metcalf, and
yeah.
his father was like, absolutely not, I don't support this.
I thought he was the same. I thought that was the same guy. You know why I thought they were the same? Because they have the same exact talking points. This is the reality. Charlie Kirk didn't say anything original. The Jeff guy that was at that rally said the same thing that Charlie Kirk said. So Charlie Kirk wasn't original. He regurgitated the same talking points as other white supremacists. 95% of black people didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was prior to his death. Neither did I. That's why I thought he was the same guy at the rally. You was like, hell no, man, that ain't the same. I'm like, for real? Because I was live and you kept telling me that ain't the same person. And I was like, damn, it ain't. I thought it was, because they had the same talking points.
Right, because we had that conversation, and I didn't catch on until after you started it. But I was like, wait, he doesn't have that I don't want to say the word, it starts with the N, that hail to the folks haircut. It was given real, nods, that's what it was given. And I was like, wait a minute, like, he had a full hairline. And then when you look at, CK, hey guys, we don't talk about Ringo, and Ringo. We don't talk about Bruno. No, in the chat, okay? But yeah, what's his name? Jake Lang. That's his name.
Yeah.
The guy that was at Austin's
That little
or that
White
started
Lives
the
Matter. It was
rally.
the White
Right.
Lives Matter rally. Yeah.
And nobody showed up.
And you remember, I thought it was I thought Jake Lang was Charlie Kirk because they had the same exact talking points. And you said, hold on, you I was live. You said that ain't the same person. I said, damn, it's not. But I thought it was because they say the same things. So when you hear one white supremacist, you didn't heard them all because they all regurgitate
Right.
the same talking points.
Right, and that's what the sellouts do, like the Hodge twins and all the rest of them. They all do the same thing. It's the same blueprint at the end of the day. And you guys, I cannot stress this enough. What is the blueprint? DDD, that deflect, deny, and then they lie. It's always the same thing. They never deter from it. It's always going to be that same thing. This is 100% like foolproof. It's always going to be the same. There's always going to be the deflection. They're always going to deny the truth, and then they're going to lie about it. And that is called what, you guys? The white diversion.
And this is
So,
what I don't understand. You got people who are mad at me. One dude said, man, Charlie Kirk was the truth. Well, Ringo said, I said, how is Charlie Kirk the truth? Charlie Kirk said that Trayvon Martin was stalking and hunting George Zimmerman at 2:00 in the morning. So that gave George Zimmerman the right to unalive him. I said, for this man to say that, and clearly that was a bold-faced lie, Charlie should have lost all credibility. But since he was saying something negative about a black team, they ran with it. We all know that when George Zimmerman made that 911 call and told him, hey, I'm following this guy, they said, hey, man, stand down, bro. You ain't got no business following him. Stand down. George Zimmerman said, forget all of that. And he continued to pursue Trayvon Martin after he was told not to. But Charlie Kirk said, no, it was Trayvon Martin stalking and hunting George Zimmerman. I'm like, what? And y'all let him get away with telling that bold-faced lie?
I don't think you understand what you just did there. You literally just showed, without necessarily saying it, but as far as making a comparison, you literally just showed how they pedestalize these types of people, whether they're their own and they look like them or not. They will pedestalize these types even when they're wrong, as long as they make it sound good. And that's exactly what they were doing for Mr. CK. So you're right. They pedestalized him, and what are they? They're raising him up so high. What are they doing for him? Trying to get a national day for him,
Yeah, they
and he's
are.
done nothing. What activism has this man done? What has he done? Just as they are pedestalizing these black men that are sellouts, you know, as long as they're talking about them, as long as they are speaking in their favor, you know, they're going to pedestalize them. They're going to take them up to the highest that they can take them. And that's exactly what's happening here. I mean, they're doing the same, they'll do it across the board. It doesn't matter who it is. As long as you are going to tap dance for our cause, we will pedestalize you. We will lift you up. We will support you with our
Right.
dollars. We
Mm-hmm.
will make sure that we memorialize your name, even if you're wrong. But it's okay. It's okay if you're wrong because it's going to make us look great. White diversion, folks.
Yep. And that's exactly what they do. They like, well, if you support our talking points, we'll uplift you. We'll support you. And the thing about it is this, man. Ringo said that Charlie Kirk did more for black folks than MLK. He said Charlie Kirk uplifted the black community. Charlie was trying to help black people. I said, I almost said something that I had no business saying on my channel when I heard this fool said Charlie Kirk supported black people. Charlie Kirk was trying to help the black community. Charlie Kirk did more for blacks than MLK. Charlie was an American hero. He said Charlie was an American hero and he was out to help black people. Charlie supported black people. Charlie taught black people how to think for themselves and not be slaves, because MLK only taught you how to be slaves. These are the words of Ringo TV.
Right. And that's the deflection, and that's the denial, and that's the lie. And see, it's always the same. He was trying to help black people. What exactly did Mr. CK do to what black community has he went into to actually help? I'll wait.
Ringo
I'll
said
wait.
Ringo said all Charlie did was help black folks. So, words of Ringo. Ringo was helping black people. Charlie tried to uplift black people. I said, man, what type of drugs are you over there taking, man?
Right. What do you do? I mean, so the white community needs to start, just like we need to start making sure that we make them walk the plank. They need to do the same. They need to do the exact same. This isn't doing anything. As long as they get support, this is what happens.
Yeah.
As long as we keep supporting them, this is what happens. Like Anton's, I don't watch him. I think I've seen the clips that you've put up. I didn't even know who Mr. Potato Head was.
Yeah.
Um I didn't know that these women and these men, I think mostly women he pulls up though. I think, guys, I don't know. I don't support this man. I don't watch him. He brings them up and they get to speak on his channel. But see, he does that because he can what? He can control the women, or there's a perceived notion of him being able to control the women. But it's like, where are the men? Are there any men speaking out?
He see, this is the thing with you got Anton Daniels, you got Ringo, you got the conservative twins, you have Jason Whitlock, and these guys are just horrible excuses for black men. But see, these conservatives have used them to spew their talking points, because they know if we say it is racist. So we're going to use these black coons to say the things that we can't say, because if we say it, we're going to be labeled a racist. So once Ringo started caping for Charlie, man, it was white people in this comment section saying $100 cash app, $100 cash, 50, 60, 100, 200. Man, them white, listen, I seen him when he did that live stream saying that Charlie did more for black folks than MLK did. Oh man, them white folks came out in droves sending. Man, Ringo probably made $1,000 on that one live stream with all those white folks supporting him when he said that Charlie did more for black folks than MLK. Oh my God, the MAGA community came out in droves to support Ringo when he said that.
But wouldn't he be turning in his grave right now? Because I thought that he didn't like these quote unquote black leaders. He didn't even like the fact that his own president that looks like him. I mean, it's cringy when I say that, but I mean it is what it is the one who made Juneteenth a holiday. What did he say about Juneteenth? He didn't like it, or it was a way for
He said,
black people.
Charlie
Go
said,
ahead.
Charlie, this is what he said exactly. He said Juneteenth is only celebrated to shame white people. Juneteenth is a waste of holiday, and black people only celebrate that to demonize white folks. That's words of Charlie Kirk. That's exactly what he said. He said that black folks only get jobs in corporate America because of DEI, and Juneteenth is a worthless holiday, and black people only celebrate that day to demonize white folks. Words of Charlie Kirk.
Is it a wasted holiday? Because I thought he got the day off, like everyone else.
He said, no, black people are only celebrating Juneteenth to shame white folks.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that a lot of people didn't even know what Juneteenth was. A lot of our own people. Let me just be clear about that. They didn't know what it was. They didn't celebrate it. I had a friend out here that's from California. You guys, I'm from Texas. I live in California, but I'm from Texas, baby. And I remember before this was even made a holiday, this was probably like 2022. And she was like, yeah, and I'm going to work. I was like, girl, I don't go to work on Juneteenth. Are you crazy? And she's like, what's Juneteenth? Most of our people did not know about it, and I had to think about it, and I was like, oh, okay. I said, it's just a Texas thing. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So a lot of our own people didn't even know what it was.
Right. A lot of our people didn't even know. They didn't know what it was. So for him to say that black folks use it as a holiday to demonize white folks, a lot of black people didn't even know what Juneteenth was. That is a fact. Some of us did, but we had a decent percentage of us who didn't know what Juneteenth was and why it was celebrated, because it was you get it,
Right, right. If you weren't from, if your family isn't from Texas and or like Louisiana, you probably weren't aware. I'm gonna just go ahead and
And
keep it a buck, keep it a bean.
unless you're a conscious black person that keeps up with these social, issues, because you got black people from Cali who do it, but these are the conscious black people. But
I
on
mean,
average, a lot of black people didn't even know what Juneteenth was. I have to be honest. Now, all
they
you
may
black
have
people,
known, but they didn't really celebrate it.
right?
Juneteenth was really like, it was, to be quite honest, before it was even a holiday, it was mostly like a big old family reunion. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Literally, a huge, gigantic family reunion. Every park you go to in Dallas, in a black neighborhood, guarantee there was food and something going on.
Because see, they had a Juneteenth festival in LA, this summer, when with because of the Kendrick Lamar just did a concert about the Juneteenth, right? And he celebrated Juneteenth and he did a pop-out concert. So the conscious black people in Cali knew, but the people who wasn't conscious didn't really know what it meant. So for Charlie to say that black people use that to demonize white folks, no, black people were celebrating the fact that we had our freedom, and the black men who fought, and you have to look at this, black men fought in that Civil War. They sacrificed a lot. A lot of black men had to leave their families. They had to go to war. A lot of black men died in that war, unfortunately. But black men sacrificed a lot when they fought in that Civil War so that we can have our freedom as foundational black Americans. So for Charlie to say that it was only celebrated to demonize white folks, no. Juneteenth is celebrated because we was enslaved for damn near 4 centuries. And once we got our freedom, it's just disrespectful. I don't see how anybody black could stand behind Charlie Kirk. It's a disgrace. But we're gonna end this, man. You got any last words before I end this show?
No, that's pretty much it, guys. It's gonna be the same blueprint every time. Like, I can't stress this enough. Every time you see it, you'll see the lie. Even if it may not be in that order, but you'll see the lie, you'll see the deflection, and you'll see them denying it. Deflect, deny, and lie. It's always going to be the same blueprint. They're always going to pedestalize someone, and lift them up, no matter if they're white, no matter, or if they're black, or non-FBA melanated. So it's always going to be this same playbook. It's always going to be this same blueprint. They will pedestalize whomever is going to force their agenda. And it's going to be that way every time. And the faster that we all start catching on to this, the better off we'll be.
Yeah, well, okay. All right, baby. Well, shit, we definitely gonna land right there. I appreciate you for your commentary. Shout out to Big E, shout out to Scoop, shout out to AW1, shout out to the creator. And hey, man, this was a good show. Peace to everybody. Hey, soak up the knowledge and information, knowledge that you can't get in college. I suggest that you pay homage to the real when we slide through. You already know. So, hey, man, subscribe to King Supreme TV. We're going to continue to build this channel. And eventually, I say like next month sometimes, I'll get back on Red Supreme TV1 and we'll drop content over there. But for right now, we're going to build this channel up. We're going to get the numbers up. We're going to get the subscribers up. And we're going to, hey, man, we're going to continue to keep pushing. We're going to continue to keep mashing. We're going to continue to keep smashing, thrashing, all about our ration. in a major way, man. It's your player partner, man, Red Supreme. Make sure that you like that button. Make sure that you hit that like button. It ain't nothing. I got to get up out of here, man. I'm gone. Subscribe to the channel, y'all.